let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the Cool Ben Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromala intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
What's happening? It's game day, everybody. Canada versus the United States for our sovereignty. Can you believe it? We're in Boston. I'm next to a harbor, and it's there's water down there. And wow, what a day! What a day! We're very excited for this game today. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're almost to 50, and the show just started. Lieutenant Eric, a proud card-carrying member of the Glue Crew. How are you doing, sir?
Great. I'm fired up. We got
fired up for
11 hours and 52 minutes and counting, baby. Before we get going, though, and I know there was some NBA action last night, but I wanted to get a full recap, and I know you're going to dive into it, but you were at the Cheers bar. And when you got on the show this morning, I was going to say, hey, Dusty, much like you did, hey, Huss, when he walked in like normal last night.
There
Regina's
was,
Pizza, lobster roll, the whole bit. Like,
Didn't get the Regina's Pizza, which I do. I mean, we'll get to the lobster roll recap a little bit later on.
You took a big bite,
or a little bit later. I did.
Big bite.
I did. There's no surprising result with me trying a lobster roll. Let's just leave it at that for now. We'll come back around. But yeah, we went to the Cheers bar last night, and when I was here with my wife before we had kids, we did go check out the Cheers bar as well. And so I'd been there before, but it was good. It closes early. Like it was what, Wednesday last night? It closed at like 9:45. So it's more of like a touristy sort of place than
even with
the
Four Nations, though. I would think that it might be a little more, drummed up in the excitement department.
We bumped into some other Canadians there, so they were good. And then we're like, let's do a video of Huss being like Norm. So Huss walks in. I've got the most perfect picture of Huss I took on my first night here. I don't know, this is the most Huss picture of all time. Look at this guy. Like, I had to be using this for memes for a long, long time now. Like, he's just, how I say like he's Mr. Winnipeg? He's Mr. Boston. Like Huss is Mr. Everywhere. It's
Mr. Worldwide.
It's simple as that. Like we went out. We went to Cheers last night. Then we went to another place for a little bit. And it was around like, I don't know, like 11:30ish. And I was just like, I'm probably going to mail it in tonight. Big day today. Obviously lots of stuff going on. And he's like, yeah, I'll come back to the hotel with you. I was like, okay. So we get back to the hotel. I was just like, all right, man. Well, he goes, well, he goes, I'm going to have a couple more beers and hit the blackjack table for a little bit. I was just like, of course, man. Like,
He's Grandpa Simpson walking into the bordello there and kind of putting his head on the thing and then whoop and back right out the door. Eh?
Yeah, like randomly last night, he's like, I once won a Madden tournament at Kansas University. I was like, what? How did that? What happened there? Like, he just... Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's fun being here with Huss on the trip. And we're gonna do Lock Shop today. Myself, him, and Jake from Cool Bet. That'll be a good time.
Huss gave that Lock Shop. It's got to be the Robe Show. The Robe Show.
I do
Robe Show.
I do. Well, what we are gonna do right after our show today, the boys are gonna come up and we're gonna do like a Cribs episode of my suite here.
Yes.
Like I gotta give them a tour of the suite and.
Yes.
Show them everything.
This
so that'll
is
be
the marble
that'll
desk that I hit my knee on yesterday. And,
yeah, like this desk, probably weighs a ton, like 1,000 pounds. Like it's ridiculous. It feels like something that you would have seen in the movie Gladiator. The first one, not even.
What floor are you on anyway? Are you high up there?
Oh, yeah, I'm there's 26 floors here. I'm on the 26th floor. Like. It's
very emotional. Very emotional.
Yeah, like me when I got this room right there. This is me right there. This is me in the room. Like there's us again. Yeah, it was good. But we had the whole bar like pretty much ready, and we're saying, hey, when our buddy walks in, everybody yell out Huss, and he's just like, oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. All right, 780-218-9999. We are 30 away from changing 100 already. It is game day. Canada and the United States tonight. Bumped into a few Americans even last night at that Cheers establishment who were like, "You guys in for the hockey game?" Hey, I was just like, "No, I'm actually here to steal your country. We're gonna make you guys the next province." That's what's actually happening here. That's the counterpoint. So yeah, very much looking forward to the game. There was a pretty good buzz in the city yesterday for Canada and the United States tonight. So, yeah, I mean, I was kind of excited for the tournament, but I am very excited for this game tonight. Like it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting.
You'll be there in your khakis.
I didn't find any khakis yesterday. We didn't really have a chance to go find my khakis. I did locate my khakis though, so I'm ready to come home tomorrow. So yeah,
and you'll be coming home to a different world because the temperatures are just skyrocketing here over the next couple of weeks.
Are they?
Like you left in a cold snap, obviously in the middle of it.
Yeah, but
we are warming up today. So
I think my truck when I was driving down to Calgary, the lowest it hit was like minus 32 on Tuesday morning. And what am I coming back to plus temperatures?
Pretty much.
Oh boy, there's going to be flooding. There's going to be snow flooding. That's not great. Oh no. 18 away from changing 100. So let's keep this going. It is game day. How excited are you? You can text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We're 2 or 3 minutes delayed in getting going today, but that's because I was setting my phone up to the Roadcaster here that we use so that I can play the Kachuk song and maybe some other songs from my phone today as we work our way through the show this morning. Like, let's just quick show test. Let's just see here. Will we be hearing from Mr. McDavid tonight? Hey, let's see.
McDavid. Let me say yeah.
Yeah, I think that works.
McDavid off a turnover. Walks in. Has a step shot. Looks it. No, it's
all right. So did you hear that, Rick?
Loud and clear, crystal clear.
Beautiful. Beautiful technology in 2025 is just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
That premium internet there.
Yeah. Well, you know what I did? I found, so Huss, I'm talking to him last night. I said, yeah. I say the premium internet. He goes, actually, you know what you should do? He goes, I was talking to the yeah. He goes, I was talking to the IT guy. I was talking to the IT guy, and this whole room is operating. See that iPad in the corner there? Like the whole room operates off that iPad, like everything. And actually, I wonder if I can take it off that stand. You must be able to. Anyway, you go in there and you go to like room devices and you connect to Chromecast's internet. And the internet speed is like 6 times what it was yesterday, even better than the premium. So Huss hacked the hotel. I found a way to do it. So
I like how he's talking with the IT guy outside, probably for a vape or something along the like. He's
that's
the
probably
whole staff now on a first name basis. Probably
that is probably what happened, man. Not even kidding. All right, we'll lay out the show for you today. We'll get to some morning announcements here right away. 780. 218-9999. The Nielsen Show, as always, is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. And right now, they are offering up the first 10 AM Nasties who call and book the 79-point service inspection on your vehicle. You'll get it for free. It's $159.95 regularly. If you call right now and book with the code EST at 780-998-7883, 780-998-7883, the first 10 will actually get the $160 inspection for free. All right. So once again, 780-998-7883 is the number at South Fort Chev. And we'll give you that again a little bit later on in the show. But, winter, hopefully, fingers crossed, almost over. Time to make sure that vehicle's working right heading into the spring and the summer, and you can get it for free. Did I hear a dog bark?
Yes. Trev's here. Trev was here. He was barking at that. He's decked in his Canada green, ready to go.
Trev, let's see. Put you on camera here. I want to see.
I do not have a jersey on or anything like that. I think it was
for shame.
Yeah, I know.
For shame.
He's mad because I'm not actually wearing a jersey. But it wasn't a bark. It was me going like woo.
Oh, okay. Well,
it sounded like sorry. It kind of sounded like a dog. My apologies.
Trev, I have to say, I thought your face would have been painted today.
I know. I disappointed myself. Okay, I'm mad at myself.
He's kind of wearing the same clothes as he wore yesterday's show, so you can do the math there if you like.
Me too, I think. Oh, really?
Hey, nice. LT or Dusty, I like what you're wearing. Yes, very good.
Yeah.
You.
What's Trev up to back there? That sounds like a fun time.
Anyway, I can't wait for tonight's game. Let's go Canada, baby.
Yeah. And also today, a special edition of Confessions coming up a little bit later on. All right, let's lay out the show for you today. We'll get into your morning announcements. The Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. The question on the Fan Zone today is this. How about that drama, hey? I can see.
What
I mean,
if LeBron hit those 2 threes yesterday as time was ticking?
Hey, I'm going to say this. I am slightly concerned about Luka.
No?
I mean...
How many games in is too many, hey? Like
he's 3 games in. They're 1 and 2.
The honeymoon's over.
And he looks like a guy that somebody would have traded right now. Like, I'm like, what's going on here? Like, get it going, man.
Get in shape.
Give him a little bit of time. I watched a great video last night. The Hornets, for like the last 6 minutes of the game, basically just ran pick and rolls to switch on to Luka, to attack Luka defensively. I was like, oh man, this could be a bit of an issue. But anyway,
Mark
maybe
Williams wins the war, hey?
The Mark Williams Bowl. He gets to stay in Charlotte moving
the last
forward.
Word.
Okay, so we'll get to the Fan Zone coming up. There's 2 different questions here. One would be, which team is facing the most pressure tonight? And then the other one would be, which player in this game do you think is facing the most pressure?
I got your answers right now. Easy. That's easy. It's easy.
We'll save them. Because we're going to come to it at the Fan Zone.
There are only 2 answers for both questions, and there's nothing else.
Even the player question you think is easy, eh?
Easy.
Oh, boy. Oh, this is exciting. Anyway, we'll get to that. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We'll get into that just after 6:30 today. We will do Fired Up probably in the 6 o'clock hour. I mean, there's a good buzz. There is a good buzz. I had I went pre-show shower today in the hotel, and I'm feeling terrific.
Wow. Did you lay down?
Today. Nope. Actually, the shower, that's the one thing. The shower is not really big enough for me to lay down.
Tubes,
it's a big stand-up one. Now, with that being said, Trev, I'm going to have to send you a picture of my bathtub because it is like a big, deep bathtub. I'm considering post-lock shop bath today.
Jacuzzi.
Just to see how it is. Bruce Boudreau is going to join us just after 7 o'clock today. And then we'll get to I Got Beef at 7:30. That hurts probably around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia. I have to come up with kind of easy trivia questions. That'll be easy. We'll get that done. And then 3 questions too many. Jamie Thomas, who's here in Boston as well. JT's going to join us around 8:30 today. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff all coming on the show today. I was trying to get Chris Pronger on the show today. And so this is actually a pretty funny story. So I text Pronger yesterday. I said, hey, we had you on a little while ago to talk about the whiskey. I'm just wondering if you'd be free tomorrow morning at 9:45 Eastern to hop on the show and join us and set up this Canada-USA game. And he goes, sorry, man, I'm already booked up at that time. And I was like, oh, no big deal. Like, thanks for getting back to me. It's all good. So then we're sitting at Cheers last night having a beverage. And for some reason, Pronger came up in the conversation. And Huss and I are sitting there talking, and he brought up Pronger. I don't know what it was, but I'm sitting there with Huss, and I go, oh man, you know what? I texted him today to try to get him on the show, and he said he's slammed up tomorrow morning. And Huss goes, I swear to God, Rick, Huss goes like this. He goes, I'm interviewing him tomorrow morning. I said, come on. Like, you're the guy that he's booked at the time? He goes, yeah. He goes, Remo's been working on it for a while. I'm interviewing him at 9:45 tomorrow. I said, that's the exact time I was trying to get him. So then, classic Huss face. Like, he's just like, Huss. I got you. So, yeah, we would have had
Pronger join the two of you at Cheers
at the same time.
He's got kind of a Kelsey Grammer thing going on himself. You guys could have had all sat at the bar and had like a group discussion.
I couldn't believe it when I looked at Huss. He's just like, I'm interviewing him at the exact time you requested. I was just like, damn it, Huss, you've done it again. Like, oh yeah, too funny. I mean, what a weird little story. All right, let's get into your morning announcements today for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock Yukon and McCord every single morning, and of course the wonderful Jess Jackson and AM Nasty, just like many of you every day on the way home. Changing 100 already. That's good to see. Nice pace today. This is a 200 6 o'clock hour pace.
Oh yeah.
Let's just keep hammering the thumbs up.
You ate a lobster roll, for crying out loud.
I did. I did not eat all of it, but more on that coming up later in the show. Yeah, no. And you know what else I decided? Like, I am done with draft beer in my life. That's it. I'm done with draft beer in my life. An
incident, eh?
Well, no, it's just like a couple days ago, when I got into town, I went and I had like 3 draft beers and 1 spiced rum and Diet Coke. And yesterday morning when I woke up, I was just like, man, why do I not feel good? I had like 3 beers last night. Like, this makes no sense. So last night I had 1, and then I just had a couple of spiced rums, and then I came home. But I think I'm done with draft beers. Give me a beer in a can or a bottle, or just don't give it to me at all, man.
You're done with dirty draft lines. That's the problem. They got to clean those lines out. That's the old. You're getting some bad drafts, some bad kegs.
Yeah. I can't do it anymore. So that's what I've learned on this trip to Boston. I'm completely writing off draft beers.
More rum.
Simple as that. I'm gonna be beer bottle snob guy at restaurants now.
Some Samuel Adams, hey?
Yeah, it's going to be, what do you have on tap? Oh, okay, interesting. I'll have a bottle of Coors Light, please. You know, like, just, that's a tough one. Anyway, I've learned that here over the last little while. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Retro Oiler 99 says, welcome to adulthood, Dusty. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just, like, at what age... You have draft beer all the time, right, Rick? You like to go pop up to the wood and have a draft.
Love having but again, if I you got to be careful. And there's some drafts that they pour it and then it sits there and there's not one bubble in the damn glass, and you're like, this probably you'd pour this in a potted plant and even the plant would reject it. Like, it wouldn't even seep into the dirt. It would kind of stay bubbling on the surface. So you got to be careful. But I mean, I think as you age, let's just say the draft beer tends to stick around a bit more, I guess, to put it that way.
Yeah. I'm done with it now. I've decided to move on, and that's okay. That's okay with my life. Like, I don't think I'll technically miss it. So
you still got the captain.
I'll always have the captain. And you should, like, the way they pour down here.
Hey, oh yeah.
I mean, if that comes with being the next state, I might have some time for it.
They got fatter fingers. That's the old.
Well, because usually back home when I go, I'll drink double spice rum and diets, and it tastes normal to me. So yesterday or 2 days ago, I was at the first pub ever created or whatever, and I said to her, yeah, I'll have a double, and I was like, no, I gotta do the show tomorrow. I said, just give me a single, and then she poured what was a triple. I swear to God, I was like, oh my goodness, like. if I feel like she would have just given me the bottle if I got a double. Like it was kind of ridiculous, to be honest with you. They gotta dial things back down here. Some sad news yesterday in the world of sports. Legendary play-by-play man Mike Lang passing away, a longtime voice of the Pittsburgh Penguins, with just some, like, we saw the news last night. We were actually sitting at Cheers when we saw the news last night. And the first thing I thought of was scratch my back with a hacksaw. Just legendary line after legendary line from Mike Lang at a time when like not many play-by-play guys were doing crazy things. Elvis has left the building. Like he was one of the most unique play-by-play men in the history of the game. So sadly passed away yesterday.
The job point of grabbing clips and goal calls to fit them into club. He was a endless gold mine. And I have to thank him here for being part of the show and giving us so many rich nuggets over the Rusty Razor and all of that. Like, it is just
the Rusty Razor, like, so
stuff. Like, we used him a lot on the old show, and R.I.P. To Kevin Lang.
RCN over in the chat. Yep, Mike Lang. He says RCN. He beat him like a rented mule. That was a good one. Michael motorcycle. Like, they're just I don't know,
Harley or whatever.
Yeah. He won me over, man. I was a huge fan of his. Sad to see him pass away. But still, left the legend.
Yeah.
Slap me silly, Sydney. Like,
that was a real good one.
Classic line. Northside Sandwich, and it says, "Get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll." Like, he just so and a unique voice too. Like, just he was doing in life what he was supposed to be doing in life. Let's just say that. And he had a hell of a run. Sadly, passing away yesterday. 780-218-9999. We haven't really dove into the Boston or the Paris Jewelers inbox just yet. Dr. J in there says, there goes the draft beer draft. Well, we were never going to do a draft beer draft. The goal, Eric, had always been to do a draft of drafts.
Yeah. So I know you're not taking draft beer. That'll fall down the board. But there's still draft from under the door or draft from a window or, and again, rank even drafts, NHL, NFL, the MLB.
Well, I was going to say, you know what I'm not going to take? Any Oilers draft from the 90s. Hey, like, that's even in Low Tide's book, you could skip over. That was 100 pages. Like, you're just like, let's get to the next good picks. Like, it was an awful, awful decade of drafting. That's a tough one. I mean, the draft of drafts, it probably would be a shorter one.
Yes.
But,
no. It's not long. It's not a hangout. This is like a 10-minute draft.
Colton and Quinnell says, "Morning, boys. If you didn't wake up and do your maple syrup shots while frying up some Canadian bacon whilst watching Canadian bacon, are you even really Canadian?" I'm absolutely buzzing right now.
Yes.
Colton and Quinnell is fired up for this hockey game tonight. I can't wait. I can't believe I'm going to be there, man. I just, it's going to be very.
You'll be there and in a suite.
Excited,
nonetheless.
And
you can wave to people, below. They can do that type of
kind of like.
This is like a gladiators moment for you. You're kind of like an emperor sitting up there, right?
It would be, I'm gonna do the thumbs up or thumbs down thing to like the Kachuk brothers. What do you think about this? It's a whole Cool Bet crew, and then a bunch of Finns are over here as well for Cool Bet, because Cool Bet's huge in Finland. So there's a bunch of Finnish fans and some of the Finnish Cool Bet staff who are here, and those guys know how to party. Like, Finns are, and I got a little bit of a taste of it being around Jani Niinimaa, the world's longest hockey game. But Finns know they drink. Like, so we're sitting there last night, and there's the 4 Finnish guys sitting to my left, and they ordered this one drink, and somebody asked him, they're like, what's that drink called? And he's like, I call it the "we'll see you tomorrow." And then I was just like, wow, that's a good nickname for a drink. Like, when it's going to put you on your ass.
Down
like,
the hatch.
Can I get a couple of "see you tomorrows," please? So those guys will be in our suite. Somebody said at the game on Monday, they ordered like 100 drinks, like these 6 Finnish dudes. They're just like, it's just go time with
See you
those
next
guys.
week.
So, I have to be at the airport tomorrow morning at like probably 5 a.m. at the latest.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a quick turnaround.
It'll be a busy day at the airport. at the end of the
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be nice and quiet for me. So that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to be the most stressful travel day of my entire life.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
I can't even. It's going to be. God, I hope I'm.
You'll make it. Point. Weather's fine now, as we mentioned earlier.
I know. So. I checked in Chicago. Chicago's weather looks fine. The weather's fine here. I mean, there really shouldn't be too much of a delay. So, fingers crossed, I get home for the Muzz's birthday tomorrow, because I will never. I'll never get over that if I, for some reason, get delayed along the way. So. Yeah. All right. We got the fan zone coming up. We're going to talk about pressure in this game tonight. And then possibly that hurts or fired up in the 6 o'clock hour today as well. We are 81 likes away from changing 200. And there's well over 200 of you watching right now. And there's way more people listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. So if you folks don't mind sliding on over and hammering a thumbs up for us as well, that would be great. It is the Nielson Show, brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Do not pay until 2026 at Paris Jewelers. And one of your text messages will end up winning text of the day today. But the fan zone is on the way next. Which team is facing the most pressure tonight, and which player in this game is facing the most pressure tonight? We'll get into that. We'll chat about it a little bit with Bruce Boudreau when he pops by for Pro-Am Sports as well, just after 7 o'clock today. I'm going to load up the Kachuk Turtle song, and we'll get to that after Eric's update. Hey, should we do that today? Let's. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's so fired up today. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get to the sports update right now with LT.
Four Nations face-off final tonight from Boston, Canada, and the USA. Puck drop 6 o'clock. USA besting Canada earlier in the tournament by a score of 3-1. Tage Thompson and Brett Pesce on standby for the Americans, with Quinn Hughes skating again yesterday with the Canucks, as he will not be in the picture tonight. As for Canada, Jordan Binnington set to start net like he has all tournament, posting an .892 save percentage in wins against Sweden and Finland and the loss to the U.S. Oilers, meanwhile, they'll head out on an Eastern road trip, a 5-gamer, which begins Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia. Over to the NBA, schedule resuming from the All-Star break last night with just one game. LeBron James, 26 points and 11 assists in a losing cause, as the Hornets would bounce the Lakers 197. James actually missing 2 3-point attempts just prior to the final buzzer. Luka Doncic, meanwhile, in his third game as a Laker, just 14 points and 11 rebounds. Mark Williams, 10 points and 9 boards in his first game since the Lakers acquired him in a trade, but then rescinded the deal. 9 games around the NBA tonight. The Lakers are in Portland while the Celtics visit the 76ers. And over to Thunder Bay in the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, Alberta's Selena Sturmey bounced from playoff contention last night in a 9-8 loss to Saskatchewan, while Kayla Skurlik's rink beat PEI 7-5. They improved to 5-2 in second spot in Group A. Skurlik's rink will face winless Nunavut in the afternoon draw, while also at noon, Selena Sturmey will look to finish the tournament on a winning note, as she will face an undefeated Rachel Homan and Team Canada. Up next, more talk live from Boston. Dustin Nielson on the scene. Four Nations face-off final tonight here on the Nielson Show, EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Let's play another game. Let's play another game. I mean, I want another chance. Let's play another game.
Uncle Phil, I don't know. Time is very valuable. I couldn't possibly play another game without upping the ante.
How much?
Let's say a nice round figure like $100 a ball.
$100 a ball? That's right, Uncle Phil. Okay. $100 a ball.
You got yourself a game.
Jeffrey? Break out, Lucille.
Oh, man. I was trying to play He's a Turtle by Kachuk, but that popped up. Man, I got some time for it. Time for it.
Yeah. What do you say, Uncle Phil?
Uncle Phil. I wonder if I have. This is like a 10-minute file. What else is on this one? Let's see. Nothing. That's the end of it. Oh, there it is.
He's a turtle.
To summarize, this is serving as the aggression on them, legal or otherwise.
I got
Summarize.
some.
The aggressor in an altercation.
This is terrific. Absolutely love it. What did that end? Let's
$100 a ball. Oh, there he goes. Too much fiddling around, I guess. I'll take the Uncle Phil, but I'll take the.
Hey, I'm back.
Back
I'm back.
now.
I don't know what happened there. He just kicked me out. I guess I wasn't allowed to play the Uncle Phil song. What are you going to do?
$100 a ball.
Yeah. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you. I don't know. I just kicked me out briefly, but I'm back. We got Bruce Boudreau coming up just after 7 o'clock this morning. And if you're watching over on YouTube, you can hammer the thumbs up for us there. We are 61 likes away from changing 200 here in the 6 o'clock hour. All right, let's go into the fan zone, boys, for fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees at fansfirst.ca. When the Edmonton Oilers so obviously go on this road trip right now, we will go there a little bit, obviously early next week. We'll be diving into the road trip as the Oilers will be back. Matt Savoy getting a look. But when they return home after that, if you'd like to get your tickets, you get them at fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees. Bottom line is it'll be cheaper than anywhere else you're going to get your tickets. Simple as that. All right, Rick, let's start with this. Between the two teams, which team is facing the most pressure tonight? You can chime in 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Trev, be ready to hop in with an answer here on these ones as well. Rick, what do you think pressure-wise from a team perspective?
USA. Most pressure.
All the pressure?
It's got to be. They're at home. They've already got the one win as well. I mean, it would be expected that if Canada, you could say, the two narratives coming out of this thing are, Canada losing. Okay, well, the Americans obviously have their number in this tournament. It's up to the Americans now to continue what they started in Montreal. And again, playing at home. How many times do you have an opportunity to win, and especially against your direct, bitter rival, but on home ice? Home ice. That's the pressure right now. I think for Canada, too. I mean, you win this, you go into the Olympics, yes, with the bragging rights, but you also might go in not thinking you have to change so much as if you do win this meaningless tournament, as some people like to coin it. So I think the pressure's on the Americans. I think they've been talking a big game. I think, I know your next question will be specifically to a player. I'll save my kind of more descriptive answer for that. But yeah, I'm going with the States. It's all on them. And especially, losing too, like their final game, they lost. You want to end the tournament on a win. They're coming off that loss. Tom and I talked on Tuesday that we kind of felt the worm turning on Monday with the results and just kind of the mood. You're there. You can probably get a better understanding of it than us. But yeah, for me, it's the Americans all day, all night.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, but it also sounds weird to say that Canada is in a final of a pretty decent international event and they don't have the pressure on them. You laid out all the case, because the case for me is probably the United States as well. They are at home. They were a pre-tournament favorite in many people's opinion. They've already beaten Canada in this spot. It's just I have such a hard time also, admitting that Canada is a bit of an underdog going into this.
The question was who has the most pressure, right? So that's keep it siloed on that.
I guess I just sort of assume the U.S. loses to Canada, and you're just like, oh well, they lost to Canada, hockey, the nation of hockey. I agree with
both
you.
Nations losing. Yeah, like if Canada loses, there's obviously more of a shall we say, whenever Canada loses in one of these international things, there's the forensic audit afterwards, or the deep introspective dive. Whereas if the States do lose, they can just be like, well, that was fun. All tonight we'll draw the eyes and the numbers and everything like that. But what happens afterwards, if they win, it'll be a big celebratory thing. If they don't, they'll say, oh, well, who's playing Lafayetteville and whoever in college hoops tonight. So they can kind of go back to whatever. Brad from Crossfield says the anthem singers are facing the most pressure tonight. That might be the best answer of them all.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Which team do you think is facing more pressure in this hockey game tonight? You can hit us up over on the YouTube chat. And of course, if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, I want to hear what YouTube Trev thinks about this. Trev, what do you think? The United States, significantly more pressure, slightly more pressure, or do you think there'd be more pressure on Canada because it's Canada playing in this final?
I think when you are the best in hockey, there is always going to be more pressure on that team to be the best. And that's what Canada has been forever. Canada's the best at hockey. That's the narrative. That's what everyone has talked about. But you look at the World Juniors the last few years, the United States of America, the question marks are starting to turn. The question's starting to turn. Like, is Canada starting, are they the best at hockey anymore? No, like it's up for discussion right now. So I think with that, I'm riding with Canada. I think there's more pressure right now for Canada just because of not being able to have best on best in the last 10 years, being able to lose quite a bit in the World Juniors or the World Championships, whatever it may be. Canada's not the powerhouse that it used to be, and they are still good, I should say, but other countries are catching up. So I think Canada has a lot to prove. I think they're putting more pressure on themselves to still be the best, to still, say like, no, we're Canadian, Canada is hockey is Canada. And so, and I can't speak for how it is down in the States, but I know that a lot of people right now are talking about this game, and the people are talking about it. All of Canada's talking about it. I've got friends sending me videos in bars back home. My brother's asking what they're doing. All of Canada is putting pressure on this game, and I don't think all of America is putting pressure on this game like Canadians are. So I still think that Canada has a little bit more pressure, but I will say there's obviously pressure on both sides. I see your guys' argument as well, because they've talked the talk. Now they got to walk it. They've looked really good. They have won the last few World Juniors. So, they've got a lot to prove for an American standpoint as well. But I still think Canada has a lot of pressure, a little bit more pressure for this game tonight. And you look at the off-ice stuff as well. I think that's added pressure as well.
There is, it's a good conversation on both sides of this, I think.
Yeah.
Jason texts in and says, and you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Jason says 40 million Canadians want to win, 1 million Americans. More pressure on us to get it done.
I was told that it was 20 million today that would be watching. Like I thought. I
think it'll probably be about
capturing. I think Ryan from SK said too. I don't think there'll be a national summit if the USA program loses tonight.
Yeah, but we'll spin it here. No, I don't think that'll be the case. Like we sit here and talk about, if they win, whatever, if they lose, that's not going to be the case. Like people are going to be pretty devastated if they lose. Like I would think probably 6 million people in the States watch this game tonight, and probably somewhere between 10 to 14 million Canadians are going to watch this hockey game tonight. Like that is a good portion of our population. And obviously if they lose, it'll be a very interesting show for you guys tomorrow to see what the reaction is like. If you're watching over on YouTube today, we're getting to a few more text messages on this. Then we're talking about which players are facing the most pressure here as well. We are 46 likes away from changing 200 in the 6 o'clock hour. So if you're watching on YouTube, instead of saving your thumbs up, give it to us. That would be great. Peter is in and says pressure is on Canada. If they don't win, the USA is clearly the superior country at the moment. It's a small margin, but Canada has to win to say we're still here. Losing twice to the States at a tournament would not be great. Buck is in and says this could be the last meeting between Canada and the US once Trump takes over the country. Never going to happen. Let's go Canada. Punker Junker Jones says, Kachuk is the kind of guy who would say for the rest of his life that he owns McDavid if the USA wins. He must not get this satisfaction. There's that as well. 780-218-9999 if you would like to chime in on that today. Okay, now as far as players go, which players in this game are facing the most pressure? Rick, you said you thought it was a pretty clear-cut answer. Who are you going with?
Jordan Binnington.
Yeah, I mean,
if not him, then who? And I guess you could also point to Connor Hellebuck, and I guess it's lazy to say two goaltenders in a one-off championship game, but Binnington with the tournament that he's had. I know a lot of people are saying kind of Skinner-esque, and we're kind of getting a lesson in front of our eyes on how he has not. things could have gone totally different for him in this tournament as well, but he also has provided some moments. The numbers are good enough to see Canada in the final, but then you look at a Connor Hellebuck and how good he's played numbers-wise, but the narrative with him is he still hasn't won when it's mattered. So I think there's pressure on him to win when it matters, not just put up the numbers. And for Binnington, who has also won when it matters, but is not putting up the numbers, but then I see as the decider who won the other one, and it was Hellebuck over Binnington. So I think Binnington, the pressure will be on him more 1A than 1B for Hellebuck to even the score tonight. And again, do what he did in that same arena in that one-off game.
Yeah, I would have to think it's probably Binnington that's facing the most pressure. I saw Austin Matthews was on SVP last night down here in the States. And, I mean, that guy's going to have to shave his head at some point. I mean, I'll just say that. It was not a flattering shot of Austin Matthews. But at the end of the interview, they flashed up Austin Matthews 0-3 in Game 7s at Boston Garden. Like, or not the Garden, but like TD Garden. Like he's 0-3 in Game 7s in this spot, whereas Binnington won a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final as a road goalie in this building. So I would think Binnington would be number one.
Like we can rule out goaltenders too and have another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
I guess.
I mean, I think Trev, are you okay? Like if we all just say it's probably Binnington facing the most pressure, then look at the skaters. Like I think that's probably what it would be. Okay, so let's just go outside of the two goalies. Who's facing the most pressure in this hockey game tonight? And is it number 97? Is it Connor McDavid? Like,
I think for sure, like that was my answer. Even including goaltenders, it's Connor McDavid. You look at what he's been able to do on an individual level, and there's nothing that McDavid has like not done. He's done it all. He's won every award you can pretty much offensively, but he has yet to win any team award. And you talk about legacy games. We were talking about it yesterday. Game 7, last year's Stanley Cup Final didn't go out the way he wanted it to be. I mean, people are really going to start putting question marks on Connor McDavid. Like, can he win? Is like, what's going on with McDavid? Is he a winner? And I don't know. I think he's got a lot of pressure on this. You look at the greatest players of all time, I'd throw McDavid right in there as far as talent level goes, but every player has something in common, and they've all won. McDavid has not won at all. And so I think he's the front runner. He's facing the most pressure. Crosby, he's had those big moments. McDavid has yet to really get it all done. So I'm thinking McDavid. This is a legacy game. He has to win this one. Team Canada has to win, but this will be huge for himself as a player and just the legacy of McDavid, because people are really going to start. You know, is he like you'll see it if Canada loses? The hate's already there for some haters.
In a stretch of 7 months, if he loses a winner take all for the Stanley Cup, and then a winner take all at this level against the United States, I mean that's tough. Like that's tough look legacy wise, right? So I mean it's going to be interesting. Like, what if he plays great tonight, but Binnington lets in 2 softies and they still lose? Right? Then you're going to look at the game and go, well, Connor actually played okay, but still didn't win. But those conversations will still pop up. Jilly G over on the Nasty Chat, where we're 31 likes away from changing 200 in the 6 o'clock hour. Connor losing back-to-back to Tkachuk is pretty up there, right? Like if you were to lose
tough
2
luck.
winner-take-all games to Matthew Tkachuk, like that's a tough one. I honestly, I'm trying to think if this is like in Vancouver and Toronto and Winnipeg, WST this afternoon, like or because McDavid's the guy in our market, are we viewing it that way, or are other people across the country looking at it going, no, Connor McDavid's facing the most pressure outside of the goaltenders in this hockey game tonight?
It's still not firmly his team, though, right? Like, you still have Crosby kind of, McKinnon's around, too.
But, like tonight's the night where that transition could happen.
You can take
You know what I mean? The Olympics are coming next year. If Crosby's there, he'll probably wear the C again, but maybe that's the tournament where he hands it off to Connor McDavid.
I'm trying to make an excuse to save the boy, okay? I'm trying to shelter a bit here. I get what you mean, though. It is the passing of the torch moment. You could easily do it tonight.
Now, Sid could also score 2 goals tonight, and the Canadian legend of Sidney Crosby continues to grow. But, this could also be that moment where Sidney Crosby has an assist tonight, but Connor McDavid has 3 points and scores a winner late in the third. And you're like, okay, that was the Connor McDavid international coming out party, and the Olympics are his next year type of thing. So Amishman 19 says, if McDavid gets 4 points on 5 goals and Canada loses, is that his fault? Easy to blame management in that case. I do like blaming management at like this event. Like just it's kind of funny. So yeah, I do think Connor McDavid is he's probably the answer. 780-218-9999. Bruce Burns with a couple here. He says it's Mitch Marner. Connor has won multiple playoff rounds, but Mitch has won nothing. Same with Matthews. And then to also say this made-up tournament is a legacy game for Connor is ridiculous. Yeah, but listen, man. Every tournament's made up. Like outside of the Olympics, like the Canada Cups, they were made up. The World Cup of Hockey, that was made up. I mean, this is essentially no different. There's just less teams. Like you can't just say, oh, a stupid made-up tournament. Have you watched this tournament? Guys are going balls to the wall in this tournament. So you're not using. We can't use that. We can't use that anymore. It's not like these guys have been going through the motions, and this game means nothing tonight. Like this game means a lot tonight. So don't tell me it can't be a legacy game because of the event. Wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's as simple as that. 780-218-9999. Paris Jewelers inbox this morning, and the one pointing out Marner. Like I'm sorry, but Mitch Marner to me has no praise. Playing on the third line. Like if Canada loses this game, unless Marner is blatantly responsible for a couple of goals against, I mean, I guess Toronto will have the conversation about Mitch Marner, but I'm assuming you guys probably won't mention Mitch Marner's legacy on the show tomorrow morning. Like if they lose, like I don't see that happen. Like Connor McDavid is up here, Mitch Marner is somewhere down here. Like it's just. I don't see that factoring in as pressure on Mitch Marner because to me, the end result of this game, Mitch Marner is somewhat, I don't want to use the word just blatantly irrelevant, but I have no expectations for Mitch Marner going into this hockey game, whereas I have expectations for Connor McDavid. I have expectations for Nathan McKinnon.
And Austin Matthews, too. So I think that's the Leaf example of both of them. Like, there's more pressure on Austin Matthews to show up.
Well, and he's like... Yeah. That's what the comparison should be in my opinion. 780-218-9999. Shaggy in St. Albert says McDavid is like Mario when he first teamed up with Gretzky with Team Canada. After that big goal against Russia, the Muse started winning cups. Well, I mean, the big goal against Russia was in 87. He didn't win one until 91. So there's still 4 years in there. Yeah. But I can see the comparison. I'm not disagreeing with you. It's not like he went and won the cup like that season following that. 780-218-9999. Very excited for this hockey game tonight. If you're watching over on YouTube, 20 away from changing 200. That is very close. We've got 7 minutes until 7 o'clock. Easy peasy. Let's get that done over there. And let's go. That hurts. Then we'll come back around to Fired Up. We'll get to Fired Up in the 7 o'clock hour today. But let's go. That hurts right now here on the Nielsen Show, brought to you by James H. Brown, the heavy hitters of injury law. If you've been injured in an accident, go to jameshbrown.com, get your consultation, and then get the settlement that you deserve from Trent and the crew over at James H. Brown. Okay, so I guess this is where I'll talk about the lobster roll. We'll do this lobster roll thing here with That Hurts because so Huss did a food review. If you missed it, it's over on our social medias with Coolbet and on X with us. Huss does this food review of the lobster roll. We went to this place last night. What was it? The White Bowl Tavern. And we looked it up, and like the review was like
42. Yeah.
This one has been around for a long time. So we went there. We went in. Like there was like 5 different types of lobster rolls you could get. we got what they called the main one, MAINE, like the main, and it was a little bit different. It was warm. It was the warm bun. It was the lobster and then butter, and like that was it. So I was just like, you know what? I'll have the main one as well. And Huss bites into this thing. He goes, like he's loving it. And then they cut over to me, and I'm like, So I had a bite, and I'm not ordering another one. In fact, the moment I bit into it, I was just like, damn it. You know, I know I'm kind of doing this for a bit, but there was a meatball sandwich on the menu that looked bloody delicious. And I was like, I should have got the meatball sandwich.
You made that face that you always make where you're usually a pretty animated, bright-colored guy, but your mouth just goes into a straight line, and you just have this look of not fear or regret, but just kind of a puzzled, lost look. And that's what dawned on you yesterday after that bite.
Well, and you know what really hurt was the look I got at the end of the meal when the lady came to get my plate and there was like a quarter of the lobster roll left. Like it was like a death stare. It was just
Nobody
like,
does that.
So you're not finishing the lobster roll? Like she didn't say that, but her eyes were saying that to me. And my eyes were like hiding like a coward. I was like, oh God, please don't say anything. Like it wasn't. So last night when I got back to the hotel, I got Shake Shack. Now Shake Shack knows how to party. Shake Shack is
now they're speaking your language.
You get that smash burger from Shake Shack. God, delicious.
And down in the States, they undercook their burgers too, right? You can get them raw, can't you?
Actually, the burger that I bit into last night at 11:30 from Shake Shack was a little bit of pink in the middle. Yeah. Just a little bit. But it doesn't kill you, I don't think. No. So we'll see. But yeah, lobster roll, not my thing. Like I'll just be honest with you. I got lobster confused with crab meat, and I thought it was going to be like little crab meat in there. And then when I looked at it, I was like, oh crap, this is like big chunks of lobster.
What did you say? This is more orange than I thought it would be, or something?
Yeah. It was just like, oh man. I think I was expecting crab in my lobster roll.
Wow. And, I think Huss described it as one word. He called it rich, hey? It had a rich taste to it, like with the butter and the,
Like, even like, it was a lot to take down. Like, even the rest of the boys are like, man, this is filling. It was.
You like that potato chip side, hey?
You know what? I did like the cactus style potato chip side.
Yeah.
I did eat all of those, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm full. I can't have any more." And then actually, you know what we had to start? We had like,
can I get some dip for these chips? Actually,
we had a buffalo chicken dip thing like on on bread as an appetizer. That was actually pretty good. But I am not having another lobster roll while I'm in Boston. It's probably not happening.
Now, how many bowls of chowder are you going to take down today prior to the game?
I haven't had any chowder so far. Chowder, it's been wicked hard to track down, but we'll see. Maybe today, maybe for lunch today, I'll have some chowder.
That's the next step.
And, yeah. So that's clam chowder. Is that what it is?
Yeah, not crab chowder, clam chowder.
Yeah. So what's that? What's that about?
You can have a lot of stuff in there. It's like a stew, baby. You know, like a.
Going to be potatoes in there?
Sure, you can have little pieces of potato in there. A rich, creamy broth.
It's a cream, right? I could probably. You know what? I'd like to have chowder out of a bowl. A bread bowl, like a bread bowl.
Absolutely.
A bread bowl.
Sure. Yeah, you can dip and dunk.
That would be fun. Anyway, the food adventures continue down here but I should, you know what? It would have been even funnier. We were talking about it after. Huss is doing this food review for a lobster roll, and then it pans over to me, and I got the meatball sub, and I'm just like, this is delicious. That would have been more on brand than me trying this ridiculous lobster roll. Mike D over in the nasty chat says Lobster Mobster in Leduc has an elite lobster roll. There's a place in Leduc called the Lobster Mobster.
There's one here on the West End, I think.
What?
Yeah.
This is like a chain around Edmonton, the Lobster Monster?
I believe so, yeah.
That's actually kind of funny. I mean, just from a name perspective, I really like that.
The real Slim Davy says, quick tip to avoid embarrassment, Dusty. Next time you order a meal you don't like, just look the waitress in the eye and tell her it's yucky. Instantly puts her on the defensive. That'd be a power move.
That would be kind of funny. Yeah. That would be kind of funny. Oh, sorry, I don't. This is yucky. I don't want it. You know, I was thinking last night, and when I was driving by, because I drive by every day going to work. Sizzler. I've never been to Sizzler. Is it called Sizzler?
Sizzler. That's what they call it in Boston. Sizzler.
Yeah, they must have. Lots of different lobster roll options at Sizzler, I would think.
The original family steakhouse.
Sizzler?
Since 1958. But
they moved away from steak?
Well, they got steak and lobster. I'm looking the special right now. So you get, it's like an American Mr. Mike, it almost seems, eh? Like it's kind of, it's got it all.
Very, let's not get carried away here.
Double lobster tail. Hey, how are you?
Ugh. Gross.
Yucky.
I didn't know lobsters came with two tails. This is incredible. All right, we are 7 away from changing 200. So if you're watching over on YouTube right now, hammer the thumbs up for us. Let's change 200 before Bruce Boudreau joins us on the show this morning. Of course, he's a very passionate Canadian hockey fan. Bruce has got to be fired up for what's going to be happening tonight between Canada and the United States. He's on the way for Pro-Am Sports. Let's get to a sports update right now. For Nisku Glass with Lieutenant Eric, and I'll try to load up a little tune here on the. Actually, no, Trev, just play "What Say You" on the other side, and then we'll get to Bruce Boudreau and hour number 2 on the show. I am live in Boston for the Four Nations final tonight between Canada and the United States. Here's the update with LT.
One game to rule them all tonight from Boston, Canada, USA, the final of the Four Nations face-off as action will get underway at 6 o'clock. USA besting Canada earlier in the tournament by a score of 3-1. The Americans with Tage Thompson and Brett Pesce on standby. In case of injury, Quinn Hughes skating again yesterday with the Canucks. He will not play a part today. Canada, meanwhile, Jordan Binnington set to start net like he has all tournament, taking in an .892 save percentage in wins against Sweden and Finland and the loss to the U.S. Oilers, meanwhile, they will embark on a 5-game East Coast road trip, which begins Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia. Over to the NBA, regular season schedule picking up again last night post-All-Star break with just the lone game. It was the Lakers falling to the Hornets 197. 9 games around the association tonight, 2 of which will see the Lakers visiting Portland while the Boston Celtics are in Philly to take on the 76ers. Back to Thunder Bay we go for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Alberta's Selena Sturmey bounced from playoff contention last night in a 9-8 loss to Saskatchewan. Kayla Skurlik's rink, meanwhile, beating PEI 7-5. They now sit at 5-2. That's good for second spot in Group A. The top 3 teams will advance. Skurlik's rink will face winless Nunavut in the afternoon. Draw will also at noon today. Selena Sturmey, she looked to finish the tournament on a winning note, taking on an undefeated Team Canada, Rachel Homan. Sports update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers, and what better way than to give them a deal? Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your spring renovation projects now.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, not tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. To Tutti and Eric and all of the bad cats. Like Wyszynski and Noodles, Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's fun but a cool bed to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macaron, Rappaport, Drager, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him give a present, nasty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson flu.
It's the Nielson Show. What's going on, everybody? Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you. Thank you very much for being here. I am in Boston getting ready for this Four Nations final tonight between Canada and the United States. Lieutenant Eric back in the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio where they got that value menu on for $4, including the mini chicken sandwich and the mini chicken wrap. I tell you, last night when I was choking down that lobster roll here in Boston, I would have killed for a Popeyes chicken sandwich, buddy. I'm not going to lie.
Popeye.
Yeah, where's my Popeyes chicken sandwich, please? All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. I got beef coming up here just after 7:30 this morning. We're gonna get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces as well. We'll dive into the play of the day for this hockey game tonight with our partners over at Cool Bet. Of course, the Lock Shop will be live from the hotel here as well with myself and Huss and Jake at 11 o'clock Edmonton time this morning. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Do not pay until 2026 at Paris Jewelers. And Bruce Boudreau is our hockey analyst and insider. Today, he is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Gear up for game day. Team Canada Four Nations gear available now. They got the jerseys, they got the hats, they got the toques, they got the scarves to have you looking right to cheer on the red and white tonight. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave or online at proamsports.ca. All right, let's bring in Bruce Boudreau this morning to set up Canada and the United States. Bruce, I have to start with, not a big seafood guy myself. I'm in Boston last night. We're out for dinner, and everybody wanted to try the lobster roll, which I choked down part of it. Wasn't my thing. I'm assuming you're not a seafood guy. Have you done the lobster roll before?
Why would you assume that? Like, who does not like lobster? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, you're in Boston, man. You got to eat that stuff. That's what it's known for.
I had it last night. I ate like 3/4 of it, but there was a meatball sub on the menu, and I was like, you know what? I should have got the meatball sub, but I was trying to live in the culture. Yeah, so it was. Yeah,
you can take the Edmonton boy out of Edmonton, but
yeah, give me a steak, man. That's just how it works. All right, on a scale of 1 to 10, Bruce, how excited are you? Just
11.
to watch this hockey game. 11, yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think like every other Canadian hockey fan, these 2 days off have been like, come on, let's get these days going so we can get the game started. More stories are created because people have time off and don't have anything to do. So I just want to get this game going and see where it goes, because it's been I think way above. This whole tournament has been way above what anybody ever thought it could be, and the finality of it today is going to be exciting.
From a coaching perspective, with what you saw on Saturday, Canada against the United States, what type of adjustments do you think they need to make? What do you think are elements of the game Canada needs to do better? How do you approach it heading into the rematch tonight?
Well, I mean, I think we now know a little bit more about, the whole game and the emotions that it takes. And I think John Cooper will make those adjustments. I don't think you're going to see 3 fights in 9 seconds to start off, but my dream thing is for Sidney Crosby to drop the gloves with Trocheck right at center ice on the first shift, and then go to the bench and go his arms up like that. I think all of Canada would be crapping their drawers, and that would be unbelievable. But I think the adjustments are simple. Let's not forget that it was a 2-1 game, and if Canada had scored, I am certain they could check just as good as the Americans could check. So, I mean, that's how it would have stayed. But I think if there's any adjustments that Canada has to make, I think it's, one, they can't be too cute. I thought once they got in the zone, they tried to make the perfect play. I think it's one of those games where the one-on-one battles are going to decide it. Let's shoot the puck at the net. Let's stop at the net, and let's win the battles there and get some greasy goals. I think that's one thing. I think number 2 is on our dump ins. We can't Hellebuyck's a really good puck handler. So we got to keep the puck away from the goalie. And at the same time, the defense, this is the elite defense in the world, these two teams. So, I mean, you've got to make sure that they have trouble getting the pucks when you dump it in. And my suggestion is dump it off the glass, hard rims around the glass where Halibut can't get it, and the defense have got to go after it and then win the one-on-one battles. I thought they came out too easily last game because we'd be dumping it in. Either Connor would get it and give a good pass to the defense, and one pass it was out. It's not like you're playing against 5th and 6th D in the NHL where it's in their feet or it's around the boards. These are tape-to-tape passes by the world's elite. So, I mean, those are a couple of little things that I think you can do as far as getting the puck in their zone and creating offense. But I think it's going to be one of these close checking games, and somebody's going to make a mistake or somebody's going to get lucky on an in-off. You're shooting the puck, and that's how eventually it's going to win. But it better be Canada that does the winning.
Bruce, is it Cale Makar maybe that straw that stirs the drink? You just mentioned in getting the puck in there and everything. He's, of course, absent during the loss to the States. We all know how good he is, goes without saying. But is that in a tight contest such as this, perhaps tonight could be that added difference for Canada?
Oh, he definitely is a difference maker. And I think, if you would rank defense in the world right now, he's either 1 or 2. So, he's going to be a difference maker for sure. Because, when Theodore went out, they didn't have a lot of defensemen that could, and with Cale Makar not playing, they didn't have a lot of rush defensemen that were up in the play and being that fourth man. If you notice in Canada's third game, that they were really pushing the D back, and then the fourth man was coming up into the play, and they were able to get him the puck, and that created a little bit of offense. So it's something that's going to happen. I think Cale Makar could be the difference maker. I said on another station, he's the number 1 difference maker tonight. And hopefully he is.
We were talking about it with a pretty good debate, I think, in the 6 o'clock hour on our show this morning about which team faces more pressure here. And it's like, I have a hard time saying it's not Canada because we're Canada. It's a hockey final. It's obviously going to be pressure on us, but the U.S. is at home. They already beat them heading into the tournament. Some people viewed them as the favorite because it's a pretty deep lineup. So do you think the United States are actually facing more pressure than Canada tonight, or would it be a saw-off?
No, at the worst, it's a saw-off. Canada's facing the pressure. Look, we lost the World Juniors and we got spanked pretty bad. We want to be known. We don't have a lot. As a country, but one of the things we've had for 50 years is known as the greatest hockey country on the planet. And people would be starting to maybe doubt that if we didn't win. I think Connor said it best when he was in Edmonton, how important this was to him and the country. And so I think the pressure is on us to sort of just be able to put our chest out and say, yeah, we're back. We are the number 1 hockey country in the world. And I think Canadians take that very seriously. And it's we got a lot of pride in it. So, and the Americans, on the other hand, are sitting there and saying, let's stick it to these guys. We want to show that we're better than them. We're the number 1 hockey country in the world. And so it should make for an incredibly intense battle. This is definitely has not been an all-star game.
Yeah, no, it's been the exact opposite. It's been terrific. It's surpassed everybody's expectations significantly, and you're probably going to see 20 million people between the two countries watching this hockey game tonight, which would be very impressive as well. You look back, on the greatest players of all time and international moments, and obviously Wayne and Mario had 87 as a moment together, and Sidney Crosby the golden goal in 2010. How important is a game like this to Connor McDavid's legacy about midway through his career to step up and, maybe take the mantle tonight from Sidney Crosby and be like, this is my time now?
Well, it certainly would be nice. I don't think anything is going to hurt Connor McDavid if he doesn't score a goal or anything. It's his first international competition and best in quite a while, if ever. And and he's going to have another chance at it in the Olympics. So I don't think it's going to cement his legacy or create portion of his new legacy. We all believe, especially the Edmontonians that are listening out there, that he's the greatest player in the planet. And you know what? Change directions just a little bit. In that first game, other than the start of the game, the biggest cheers, and I know I'm getting older, but I mean, when Connor McDavid picked up the puck, especially on his first goal there, but I mean, every time he picked up the puck, it was like the fans were leaving their seats and cheering. And it reminded me of watching old days or hearing my dad tell me stories about Maurice Richard in the Forum. When he picked up the puck, how it would lift the fans out of their seats. And I mean, you could hear, it was a distinct difference when Connor had the puck and anybody else had the puck on the ice. And I thought that was such an amazing thing at that time. But I think his legacy is there. I mean, he's got to win a cup. He's got to, he's going to do something special for Canada one of these years, if not tonight. But I don't think anything's going to destroy or ruin his legacy if it doesn't succeed tonight. He's going to get opportunities to enhance that legacy as time goes on.
Bruce, before I let you go, we've had one guy in the chat multiple times this morning saying, can you please ask Bruce if Kevin Owens is going to destroy Sami Zayn in the Elimination Chamber?
Like you have no friggin' idea. Sami Zayn hasn't won a fight since he was last partnered with Kevin Owens. So, I mean, he is I can't see any way unless they want to make it look like good guy versus bad guy. But I think they want to continue with this, with the way that Kevin's going and making him into like the ultimate bad guy. And he's doing such a good job of it. And I hope he does, because I'm going to go to Madison Square Gardens November, or I think in early next month, and he's wrestling, and I'm going to go watch him, and maybe I'll be his manager for the night. I don't know.
Please make that happen. Let's do it. God.
You have no idea how much I'd like to be the Paul Heyman to Kevin Owens right now. And you bring out Roman Reigns, bring out Brock Lesnar. I'll bring a kendo stick and I'll kick their ass.
I got a lot of time for something like that happening, Bruce. My God, that would be great. Please pursue that avenue. Let's make that happen. Bruce, as always, man, great chatting with you. Enjoy what should be an all-time great hockey game tonight. We'll chat in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you later.
There you go. That is Bruce Boudreau joining us. Belineski over in the chat's like, yes, Bruce. Eric, can you imagine?
The Paul Heyman drop, the kendo stick, and his
like
weapon
the Paul
of choice.
Heyman drop
I love
for
it
Bruce.
all. I love it all. Yeah.
That would be terrific. That'd be an all-time move.
And what a
Bruce
manager
Boudreau.
he would be too.
It's
Hey?
just
like imagine if you're a wrestler. It doesn't matter your role or what form you take on, but having him in your corner and as a manager and as a hype man walking down the ramp, leading you out.
I mean, I don't know how it hasn't happened yet. Like the WWE's done a lot of good things. Like, make that happen. Give Bruce a mic. Let him cut a promo for Kevin Owens. Like
He'd sell it.
Oh, that would be too good. Too good. Man, Bruce has been a great addition to the show this year. He's been absolutely tremendous. All right. You can text us anytime. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We are 61 likes away from changing 300. Not unrealistic to think we can do that before 7:30 sports update today. You got about 10 minutes to continue to do that. We are going to get into our the play of the day for this game tonight.
You wanted that period goal, hey? The first period.
Yeah, do you have are those up today? We were talking about it yesterday. I wasn't sure if they were up yet.
Yeah, let me know.
Let's you know what? Let's go there right now. Let's go there for our partners at CoolBet. CoolBet has set us up on this trip, and Huss and I we're living a really good life the last couple of days. I mean, the CoolBet crew, they know how to roll. There's no doubt about that. And so huge shout out to CoolBet for making this possible, bringing me out here to Boston to be at this game tonight. Looking forward to trying these chicken tendies in the suite tonight. I mean, the tendies at Elephant and Castle in Winnipeg are a 10. Yeah. I had somebody who lives in Winnipeg tweet at me the other day with a picture of them at lunchtime, the tendies and fries. And he's like, you've got our entire office addicted to these chicken tenders now. And I was like, as you should be. I can't believe you lived in Winnipeg forever, however long you lived in Winnipeg, and you didn't even know it already. Like, so that's my mark. Like, that's
if there's
a
one
10.
thing Boston's known for, and if you're gonna go, not everybody gets to go to Boston, but you gotta try the chicken tenders
in a suite at the rink. I mean,
sweet life.
It was funny because last night we're talking about after Huss had the lobster roll, and we're sitting there at Cheers, and he's talking about the suite, and I said, yeah, but they're probably like, hockey rink chicken tendies. Like, let's. And he gave me one of these. He's like, no, they were actually pretty good tendies. I was like, what? So people are excited for the game, and I'm excited for the game. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really excited to try these tendies. And actually, I'm going to be joining the Reed Wilkins show at 5:05 Edmonton time. I will already be in the suite.
Oh boy.
I may actually have a tendy. I don't know if the food gets laid out an hour before the game, but this is there's going to be something. They're pretty exciting. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. As Penner's Pancake says, this should be a 500-like morning. It's Canada and the U.S. in the Four Nations final. Like, you got to love it. All right, give me these first period point numbers.
Okay.
I think there's value. There's value on these over at CoolBet. Let's do it.
We got player period goals, and that's what I'm looking at right now. In terms of player points, I'm not seeing any per period, but I do have the player period goals if you'd like that.
Is there a first period point anywhere?
There's first period goal. I'm not seeing player points. I'm in there. I'm not seeing the first period one.
I want that first period point.
We got player period goals for first period.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Hey, let's do that. Okay, give me that. What are those numbers?
Nathan McKinnon plus 800 will score. Connor McDavid plus 810. Matthews plus 890. Braden Point plus 1050. And just I will search for that period
plus
point
1050 to score
for Braden Point
in the first period. A goal in the first period.
Yeah.
So that's not first goal of the game. It's just a goal in the first period.
In the first period, yeah.
It's
a lot of chicken tendies.
Well, a sprinkling of Braden Point here to score in the first period of this hockey game might not be the craziest thing. Getting to play. What was the McDavid number? Plus 810, plus 850 or whatever?
Plus 810. McKinnon plus 800. Okay. He's at the top.
I mean, I'm going to wait. I know they're going to get the points up, I think, for the first period. We were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I still, my favorite play, I think, is a Connor McDavid first period point. It's going to be a plus number when it's up, and hopefully the boys are able to get that up here at some point. What's the total set at for this game? 5.5? 6?
Total is 5.5, yep. First period goal, first 10 minutes.
What's that? What's that number?
Minus 130 for yes, plus 100 for no.
So they're expecting a goal in the first 10 minutes. See, so if they're expecting a goal in the first 10 minutes, the number on like the McDavid and McKinnon's at like 8-1 to be the guy who scores and that be like score in the first period. That's interesting. Penner's Pancake says, I'm going with Marchand on the game-winning goal tonight. What's McDavid 2 points tonight, Rick? Look that one up. I mean, I think that's probably what we do for this morning. I mean, let's go Connor McDavid over 1.5 points.
Connor McDavid over 1.5 plus 245.
Yeah, I mean, in an NHL game, that number's like plus 110.
Over 2.5 plus 700.
Oh, geez, sprinkle, please. Sprinkle here, sir. Connor McDavid over 1.5 points tonight, plus 245. That'll be your official cool bet play of the day for this game. Full-blown 60-minute betting preview for Canada and the U.S. tonight, possibly from this couch behind me on the Lock Shop today, possibly from Hustler's room. We'll have to sort that out.
The loose robes, loosely tied robes, please.
Yeah. You know what? I have a very fancy robe right around the corner over here.
I'm sure you do. Nice. Spared no expense.
It's pretty nice. Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999. Amishman 19 says, Dusty, you have to say Marchand with the Boston accent when you're in Boston. And Penner's Pancake says Marchand game-winning goal tonight. I did say that. I said to Huss last night. I said, if there's going to be any sort of rough stuff right off the top, Can you imagine Brad Marchand dropping the gloves here in Boston?
I can.
Like, that would be, the place would erupt. I mean, that would be, what did Bruce say his dream start? Sidney Crosby fighting Trocheck right off the opening draw.
Let's get it.
I think the building would feast more off of Brad Marchand tilt early in this hockey game. I do think the gloves will. Well, I don't know if the gloves will stay on tonight. I don't think it'll be all these fights right off the bat.
No, yeah.
Who knows what happens? Like,
by God, that's Bruce Boudreau's music.
Bruce Boudreau's done it. Yeah, and then it cuts to Bruce, and he's between the benches cutting a promo with whatever that stick was he said he had. Like,
the kendo.
This is the kendo stick. Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna come back around to it. Fired up around 7:45. I think you know where we're going for fired up today, though.
Lakers Trailblazers, baby.
Yeah. Back to backs.
Hey, the NBA ain't scared. 9 games tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, we go.
Yeah, busy schedule. Busy schedule tonight. All right, so that's your play of the day. Connor McDavid over 1.5 points in a chance to beat the United States in Boston in the Four Nations final, plus 245. He might get
over 2.5 plus 700 if you want to get a little.
I'm not going to tell you not to do it.
Exactly.
But what I am going to say, stay cool and bet responsibly with our partners at CoolBet. What's your favorite play in the game tonight? 780-218-9999. D-Rock says maybe a McDavid anytime goal scorer is the best play. Rick, what is a McDavid goal at any point in the game? Let's
plus 210.
Let's go there. I think I like him I think I like the 2 points more at plus 245. There's more value there, and he could definitely have a couple of assists in this hockey game to get the 2 points. So I think I'd rather go 2 points on that one. Doesn't sign text guy with a pretty good one. I always knew that tonight's matchup would come down to the tendies.
Oh wow!
Because the goaltenders, tendies. That's a good one. That's a good one. That could very much be your A&W text of the day today. Wow. Yeah, doesn't sign text guy. I always knew tonight's matchup would come down to the tendies. I wish I had the CSI Miami. I would have hammered it there.
Play Dr. Phil again. Or
Uncle Phil. I'll just play that against the only thing that I can play. What should I play? If you have any requests for a song coming back just after 7:30, let us know. Cookson texts me and says, "Too bad Bruce isn't enthusiastic about wrestling. His face just lights up. Hey, when we bring up wrestling, Bruce was in such a good mood this morning. I had the nice setup now too, with the headphones, and he's sitting further back. Bruce Boudreau's really hitting his stride with us right now. It's great to see. It's great to see. Let's see. What do we? I actually do want to track down the Turtle song. I'll see if I can set that up properly. Maybe. There's a lot of other good stuff. Oh, I see the Charge Anthem here. We're not that far away from a good chin strap being shaved in.
You've been putting in the preseason work here as well. Hey?
You're going to be hitting it she's ready to go.
Stride. Yeah.
She's ready to go. My wife won't be able to keep her hands off of me. I'll have the chin strap going. It'll be back to my late 20s. She'll love that. All right, I got beef coming up. What do you have beef with? Text your beefs to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And obviously Fired Up is on the way as well. We're 19 away from changing 300 here before the midway point of the show. Canada, the United States tonight, a chance for Connor McDavid. What do they usually say, Lieutenant Eric, in soccer? A chance for Connor McDavid to announce himself international.
That's the one. Yeah.
Tonight, right? That's we're looking for the announcement tonight from Connor McDavid against our bitter rivals from the United States of America. So we've got lots to get to tonight, and we will continue with that conversation. Fired Up is on the way, and I got beef. 780-218-9999. Trev, get your beef ready. It should be hilarious. Eric will have a beef. I've got beefs, and some of you watching or listening right now likely have beefs as well. We're 14 away from changing 300. That's if we don't get to 300 by the time Eric's done this update, I'll have a beef with all of you. So let's do that right now. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just text the link to EST to all of your friends, and they will realize how easy it is to listen to the station on iHeart or TuneIn, and they can join in on all the fun as well. Let's get to a sports update right now for the great staff at Park Mazda.
Four Nations face-off final Thursday tonight from Boston, Canada. Taking on the USA, action getting underway at 6. It was the USA 3-1 victors earlier in the tournament over Canada. Both Tage Thompson and Brett Pesce are on standby for the Americans. In case of injury, Quinn Hughes will not be a factor as he skated again yesterday with the Canucks. Jordan Binnington set to start in net like he has all tournament for Canada. He rides into this evening with an .892 save percentage and an overtime win against Sweden, a regulation win against Finland, and the loss to the U.S. Oilers, meanwhile, they will embark on a 5-game East Coast swing beginning Saturday afternoon in Philadelphia. 9 games around the NBA later tonight. Just one last night as the regular season schedule resumed post-All-Star break. LeBron James, 26 points in a losing cause as the Lakers would get bounced by the Hornets 197. Off to Thunder Bay we go for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts final day of the preliminary round. Alberta's Selena Sturmey last night bounced from playoff contention in a 9-8 loss to Saskatchewan. Kayla Skurlik's rink, meanwhile, beating PEI 7-5. The Skurlink rink now 5-2 entering today. That's second spot in Group A with the top 3 teams advancing to the playoffs. Skurlik's rink will face winless Nunavut in the afternoon draw. Also at noon today, Selena Sturmey will look to finish the tournament on a winning note. Tough test, though, as she's up against the undefeated Rachel Homan rink and Team Canada. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who always has a half-eaten lobster roll in his desk.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
He's just a forward named Matt who plays for the Flames. A punk or a coward, a few of his names. He likes shooting and scoring and hits in the back. And when you're not looking, that's when he'll attack. He runs with his gloves, they're glued on his hands. Now it's pretty clear he's hated by fans. But sometimes that just ain't enough to keep a rat like him interested. Oh no, no way. No, he's got to go out and take runs at someone else's expense. Oh yeah, yeah. He makes dirty hits we don't want in the game, then covers up his head and hides in shame. He's a turtle. 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 He aims for your back and then leaves his feet while George and the league are saying, hey, that's sure neat. He's a turtle. 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 He ducks and he runs to much safer spaces while players with a sack are getting punched in their faces. He's a turtle. 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 Maybe we shouldn't be singing this song with Dowdy and Cassian singing along. Maybe he'll find it and prove us all wrong. Nah, he's a turtle. 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 He's a turtle.
Oh, baby.
Turtles.
How exciting is that? Oh, the turtle song for Matthew Tkachuk. That one, I tracked it down on like the original tweet when I put that thing out, and I had 688 retweets. That's got to be my most retweeted tweet of all time. Like
it was
that's
hot. It was a hot time, baby.
That's ridiculous. How many impressions would this tweet have got? Let's see here. Do they still track that from older tweets? 206,000 impressions on that one. Yeah, that song is pretty popular. And we'll see what happens. Look, he was a turtle, but he's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a hockey player, and they're going to have to do something to counteract Matthew Tkachuk tonight, as RCN says, the ultimate heel. I mean, he's the guy that you want on your team, but you absolutely hate him. It's
like Corey Perry.
It's a rare breed for that. It's a rare breed to become that guy and do it so well. But he definitely does. The Nielson Show brought to you by Southport Chevrolet today and every day with the great crew out at Southport Chev. Drive a little, save a lot. Head on out there right now. And actually, this is great. Full vehicle, 79-point inspection here in the month of February. The first 10 people to call and book this with the code EST will get it for free. Regularly, it's like $160. You call right now. Book it with the code EST, and you'll get a full vehicle 79-point inspection for free. They say you want to do this all the time. You want to do it once a year, and I know many of you would be like, I don't want to pay $160 once a year to go get my car checked out. Well, if you call right now and book with the code EST, the first 10 people are going to get it for free. The number is 780-998-7883. That's 780-998-7883. And the service manager out there, Colt, says it's like an annual checkup with your doctor. All right, if you're going to take care of yourself, you might as well take care of your car. So both of you can be firing on all cylinders for the entire year. That worked out well. Hey, I see we've got. We had a poll this morning. I didn't even see it at the time. 54% of people voted that Canada has more pressure than the United States tonight. Surprises me a little bit. Yeah, it's close though, right? Like it's. Split right down the middle.
You should both have. There's pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, there's pressure. It's,
pressure abounds.
As Bruce Boudreau said just moments ago on the show for Pro-Am Sports, we don't have a lot here, but we do have being the best hockey nation for the last 50 years. So after back-to-back World Junior disappointments, go and take that crown back tonight. Rip it out of their hearts. Down here in Boston. If you're watching over on YouTube today, we've blown past 300. We are 83 likes away from changing 400 on a game day. Oilers set to return to action here right away as well. So we will we'll do that. All right, let's get to I Got Beef for Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local,
beef.
Eat Acme. Go see Corey the Butcher. Do you see his hand? He got a tattoo on his hand. Did you see his hand? It was like gross and red, and then
I think it's the last spot on his body that he isn't inked up. The guy is a walking tattoo.
Yeah, if Corey the Butcher, I was going to say he'd have to have some sort of serial killer name with ink in it, but his name is Corey the Butcher. So that's already a pretty good serial killer name. Like, it's going to be really weird if people are coming to us and being like, heard you were promoting Corey the Butcher as he killed 20 people over the last decade around the city. Like we don't want to be linked to this guy. Yeah, especially because he's like the nicest dude ever. So that would be good. Eat fresh, eat local, eat at Acme. LT, what's your beef today, buddy?
Well, I got a pair of beefs, and I'll keep them quick. And I know Trent's probably got a hot one here, hot beef coming through. I got a beef with you twos. Used to. First, Trev, I got a beef. I got a beef right now. He's wearing green. Of all colors today. You've been donning that that beautiful Hockey Canada jersey throughout the Four Nations tournament. And here we are at the final of the Four Nations tournament. And you've got a green Nike sweater on. Perhaps, as somebody suggested, taunting the turtle. Maybe that's the play. And if it is, all is forgiven. I feel very lost as to why the North Star here does not have the Team Canada jersey on. And now for you, Dusty, beef with you. Sitting here in Edmonton, minus whatever it is, and going home and air frying my chicken tenders, and you having the opportunity and chance to go down on a rich lobster roll, to experience some of the best in New England clam chowder, to yada 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 your way through the whole seafood alphabet. And I'm not surprised, but it's just a beef of mine that you are down there enjoying yourself as best as can be. And I have to sit here and watch you and listen to you disparage one of the capitals of seafood on this continent. For shame.
Trev, you defend yourself first, then I'll chime in on this lobster roll thing.
I just didn't feel like wearing a jersey today. I don't know. I don't know why.
What about that awesome sweater you had? That sweater.
The day of the final.
Yeah,
the final.
I don't know. I just the last time I wore it.
I see what you're doing. You wore it Saturday, right?
Maybe
the reverse switcheroo.
Yeah,
switcheroo.
I haven't done this in a while, but I'm doing it today. So yeah, there is a little bit of superstition.
I get it
going
then.
into it.
I get it then. All is
and
forgiven.
I want
yeah.
Canada to win.
Yeah.
And when I wore it, I don't think it's. It's that's kind of why I didn't wear it.
I hear you.
So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, well, see, Rick, here's what for me. The last time I had a lobster roll, Canada lost to US too, so that's why I didn't want to.
You can't do the same. You can't.
This is what I would have said. Here's what I would say. I would say, if I was to have another lobster roll, I would want more bun and less lobster in it.
Sure.
Like it was just the lobster was overwhelming.
And don't get me wrong, I am not surprised. I'm not kind of trying to shame you. Just from my seafood-loving point of view, stuck out here in a landlocked province, and seeing you where you are, I wish I had seafood, but I got beef.
Yeah. Okay. No, those are good beefs. Those are good beefs. Trev, what's your beef today?
I got beef for LT teeing up like that. I have a crazy beef. I don't have anything crazy.
You always say that, and then you come over the boards.
Now there's so much pressure, so I feel like I have to say something. I don't know. I came in today and it was a little dirty, so I got beef with that.
No, go into the detail. Go into the detail here. Yeah.
What do you
There's
mean?
a pop can here. There's a water bottle here.
It looks like a frat house.
I don't know what he's got over
here.
You
left a pop can by the computer?
Yeah.
By the clock there, that digital clock we got on the.
It was on the main desk. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah, no.
He's a soda boy. He's a soda boy.
And he's a clean guy. I don't know how he doesn't see this and on his way out and be like, oh, Trevor will probably not like that, so I'm going to move it. I got beef with, Matthew Tkachuk's chirping me in the nasty chat. I don't like him. I can't stand him as a player. I never realized how much I hate him as a player. The stuff he says off the ice, his antics. He's a good player, but I got beef with him. I don't know. That's my beef. I got nothing too crazy today. I'm just a little fired up right now.
Hey, fired up's coming up in about 10 minutes, so don't worry about that. We'll get to that. You can submit your beefs to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. A few beefs rolling in over there as well. Here's my beef, and I don't want to get into it too much today, boys. But my beef, and I've had to listen to people the last couple of days here as well. My beef acting like LeBron James did something to ruin the All-Star. Like enough. Anthony Edwards did the exact same thing. Like if you're going to bitch about LeBron, why are you saying anything about Anthony Edwards? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous being like, oh, man, it's so sad that this dude is just criticized for everything he does. It's such a bad look for humans today. Like, it just drives. Can you imagine, Rick? I thought about this when I was showering this morning. Can you imagine what people would say about LeBron James if he quit the NBA, went to play another sport, and took away a job from somebody who was trying to make the bigs? It would be like people would think he's the most ridiculous person of all time. But nobody says that about the other guy. Like, I'm stopping here. I'm not going to go on any further, but it's what I have beef with. Like, what do you think the NBA said to him? Do you think the NBA said, hey, man, if you're not going to be able to go, just stay home. We don't want LeBron James around the All-Star game. We'll get Norm Powell here. Like, tell me what you think the NBA wanted. He's just doing what the NBA wanted.
Into this.
Like, I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, if he retired and came back, they'd be like, he's the most pompous prick of all time, thinking he can just come back. And I can't believe he went to baseball and took away a job from a 22-year-old who's trying to work his way up into the bigs. Like, it's just, I can't take it anymore. It's ridiculous. It's such a bad look from everybody. Like, just suck it up, appreciate his greatness, and realize that when he retires, nobody's ever going to care about the NBA again. Like, simple as that.
See, I thought you would have beef with his 0-21 pace on game-winning/tying shots since the year 2020 following last night.
Still hit the most game winners in the history of the game.
21 since 2020.
Got to get him a better look. Simple as that. Got to get him better looks. It's always forced up. Got to get him better looks. And then, you know what? I'll also say this. It's time for Luka to pull up his bloody socks. Like, this guy, I'm watching Luka, and like through the first 3 games, I'm like, oh, man, I think I can kind of see why Dallas would have traded him, which I never would have thought I would ever say.
Yeah. That ankle looked pretty good last night, though. There's video of him kicking the ball around a bit.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This is, oh, my God, he's ruining the game. Like, suck it up, people. You see the dunk he had last night? It was a better dunk than 98% of the people in the history of the game have had. He's doing it at the age of 40. It's
against
ridiculous.
the Hornets, though.
Yeah.
I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, there you go. I can't take it anymore. Anyway, that's my beef. Anybody else got beefs? Feel free to pass them along.
Jazz and the Hornets, bookending the All-Star.
You know what? I will say this. Like, that just also frustrates me from a Lakers perspective.
Yeah.
Because they like beat a ton of good teams in a row.
Yeah.
And then now lose these 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of Luka, but it's not good to lose to those teams. So, yeah. Anyway, I had to get that off my chest because I'm sick and tired of people having horrible takes. It's just like, suck it up. Like, can you imagine if LeBron James retired twice, what they would say about him? Like, just go away, man. Nobody wants you around. Like, you're taking a job from somebody coming back out of retirement. Like, stop. Like, please.
James now 1 for 29 on game-tying go-ahead field goal attempts since joining the Lakers. So that even beats that prior stat I had since.
And still delivered a championship, if you can believe it. That's weird. And what some people say, the most challenging championship in the history of the league, because you're in a bubble, you couldn't see your family or anything. So
people are talking.
That's a tough one. All right. Does anybody have any beefs in the old inbox? Let's see here. 780-218-9999. Ernie's in it says, my beef is Dusty sitting in a penthouse suite in Boston before going to a box to watch a game, and he still has beef with anything. Yeah, I mean,
you are living the high life, sweet life, yeah.
Yeah.
26th floor, hey? We learned earlier today.
26th floor, yeah, right at the top, which is it's pretty good. Atif is in. It says, gentlemen, I have beef with Cheers, the bar in Boston. They claim when you go to Cheers, everybody knows your name. But when I was in Boston years and years ago, I went to Cheers and nobody knew my name. What's up with that? That's pretty good. Jason is in. It says, my beef is not getting a tour of this suite that Dusty's in. Well, like I said, we are going to do a Cool Bet Cribs edition after the show.
You could pick us up right now and kind of.
I mean, yeah, but then that ruins. It's like a spoiler for the Cool Bet Cribs that we're going to do later on. But I'm going to do a full tour of the place. I mean, I could just move this a little bit over.
Yeah, like give the Nasties a little sneak peek here, right? Yeah. Oh. Do you have the Atkins chair close by?
These operate with a button.
Okay.
The curtains. It's pretty incredible. So that's good. But yeah, you get a whole tour of the suite. Did I lose you, Rick?
No, I was asking if
I can't hear you now. I moved my computer for 1 second and I can't hear you.
You can't hear now.
You guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Thumbs up. You can't hear me? Well, LeBron's the worst basketball player in the history. LeBron
James sucks.
LeBron James is the worst athlete ever.
He's overrated.
LeBron James couldn't dunk over. LeBron James is.
I'm going to reconnect. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you
Space Jam 2 sucked.
Space Jam.
I never liked it. MJ is clearly the GOAT. That was good.
We don't have a lot of those opportunities, do we, Trev?
We jumped on that right away. I knew where, like, I was like, oh, I'm going to, and then you.
Yeah. And I knew when he moved his computer that it would go out. This was a whole long play.
I knew something was going to happen because this morning when he adjusted one thing, then he looks confused.
Hello?
If you're listening on iHeart, tune in.
Dusty,
I can't hear you.
Hey, I can hear you a little bit.
You can't hear me either.
No, he can. Yeah,
What is going on here? I'll be back again.
Yeah,
Dusty.
Put the robe on.
LeBron James sucks, Dusty?
Yeah, for people not watching, Dusty tried to move the camera, and then that led to an audio issue now where he can't hear us. So
it's very touchy.
We took liberty. Yeah, it was. But he should know that. I mean, we have touchy cables here and there. You just got to jiggle it and wiggle it, and
I knew it was going to be a bad idea. As soon as he moved his.
You should have said something.
I'm back.
You're back. Can you hear
it? You guys are really gonna. I'm gonna look like an idiot here. I had when I moved my computer, because my keyboard is like, I can take it places. When I moved my computer, the computer accidentally hit my mute button.
Oh,
and then I
classic.
said, so you're just muted. I didn't even check the mute button.
No, we were just talking about.
I was just gonna say LeBron James is awesome, Dusty.
Oh, I almost left again. I was when you I went to click. I was gonna completely leave again. I was just gonna be like, you guys were talking trash, weren't you, when I was gone because I couldn't hear it?
No.
Maybe
we were concerned and worried. The main thing. I thought you lost your voice.
No, that was. Yeah, that's the last thing we need around here. The big lock shop later today. All right, there you go. I got
ropes, loosely tied ropes. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, if we get to 1,000 likes today, I will do the last hour of the show in a robe. So let's hammer the
right.
thumbs up over at YouTube today. What are we at here? We're at 61 away from changing 400, and there's almost 400 of you watching right now, and obviously there's like 3-4 times as many listening. So if you want to slide on over and hammer the thumbs up for us at YouTube, that would be great as well. Lots of good. I mean, there's some good text. There's also some ridiculous text, but I can't believe I got mute buttoned. That's
Drew Dowdy says this is worse than Zooming with Daryl Sutter.
Oh no, God! I'm looking all around. I'm reconnecting. I'm like, look, I just accidentally hit mute. That's my bad. Oh well. All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in. Let's just get into Fired Up right now for Gemco Fireplaces. Let's do it. I mean, I think everybody knows where we are going for Fired Up today. There's only one place you can go. I think the entire country is fired up right now. Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton area for 45 years and are the authorized dealer for Napoleon fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need sitting there waiting for you at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. Swing by Gemco and get all of your Napoleon products that you would need. Fired up for this hockey game, man. Like, I can't remember, and I know the Cool Bet guys do have a jersey that they're going to give me a little bit later on today, a Canada jersey.
Oh.
I can't remember the last time I went to a sporting event wearing a jersey. Like, I honestly, actually trying to think now. When was the last time I would have gone to a game with a jersey on?
Well, did you? Are you going to get a number name on the back? Are they going to give you like a Konechny or something to wear tonight? Or
it's actually a McDavid jersey. Yeah. Wow. They're not messing around. Wow. They're not messing around. Actually, yeah.
Sweet.
What we're going to do with it,
floor McDavid jersey
is I'm going to wear the McDavid jersey. Canada's going to win tonight. Then I'm going to sign the McDavid jersey and we'll auction it off for charity.
Get the Pro-Am boys to frame that.
Is that a McDavid jersey?
Yeah.
It is. Did he sign it? No, Dusty signed it, but he was at Boston. He was in Boston at the game, so that's
printed
why,
on.
That's why he did it. That would be, that would be weird. It's got the A on it and everything. Like they didn't mess around. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that a little bit later on. I think we're gonna be wearing them on the lock shop today. But yeah, I can't remember the last time I went to a game wearing a jersey. As a fan, I'm fired up.
You're full fan.
Fired up. Yeah. Like this is you going to a Riders game, and then just having the time of your life and living it up. I haven't had a chance to do that in a long time. So yeah, I'm pretty fired up to be at this event tonight. And I hope the game doesn't end up. I don't know how this game can end up being a dud. Right? Like what is this game going to end 5-1? Some team's going to score, go up 3-0 in the first period, and then it's kind of on cruise control the rest of the way. I just don't see a world where that exists. Or maybe it's just a world where I don't want that to exist. Like, I want Canada to win this on a McDavid overtime winner tonight. Like, let's take this to 15 out of 10. Like, let's go.
You want a few years shaved off your life due to the stress that you will incur. That's the type of game it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the type. Like, I want to sit down after and just be emotionally and physically exhausted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I can't think of the last time I went to a sporting event, like, as a fan. It would probably be before I moved here, which I'm talking Edmonton, not Boston, in like 2009. and it probably would have been like a Habs game in Calgary in my early 20s. I can't think of another time that I've put on a jersey and went to the game and cheered for a team, as a fan. So this is pretty exciting.
Northside Sandwich, Team Canada jersey, $300. Team Canada jersey signed by Dusty, $75. Having a once-in-a-lifetime memento, priceless.
Yeah, I mean, you would have the jersey
down a bit,
of McDavid that was in Boston at the game, signed by the person who wore it. What more? I mean, technically, it's a game-worn signed jersey, or it's a game-watched signed
Close
jersey.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. So yeah, we'll see. Ben is asking, how's Dusty's knee after the run-in with the marble table? You know what? Came through it pretty good. I was telling the boys earlier today that my knee was actually already banged up a bit from curling because I would slide out and I wouldn't have the leg stretched behind me. I'd just go out on my knee, and the knee took a pretty good beating at curling on Saturday.
Bruised up.
So it was already bruised up, and then I hammered it on. Like, I don't even think I could lift this desk. Let's see if I can lift this desk. Like, that's how heavy this desk is.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit. Oh my God, that's heavy. Oh, that's a heavy desk. I'd like to know how much just this desk is worth.
I'm sure Huss knows.
Try to sneak it out of here. Anyway, fired up for the game. What are you doing for the game tonight? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. What are your plans for the game tonight? Are you going somewhere to watch it? You going with your buddies? You're going to watch it at home? Rick, what are you going to do while you're watching it at home tonight?
It's the loose plan. I might also go out and kind of hit a different bar each period.
Not a bad idea.
Walk around. Why not, right? It's going to warm up here. Like it is. We are shooting up the temperature scale. It's going to be like 2 degrees maybe this afternoon, maybe 1, even if it's still minus single digit. I mean, who cares? So this will be one of those nights where you can kind of get out and click up your heels and you'll be like, oh, who needs a jacket, right? Like it'll be, in comparison to the couple weeks we've had, it'll feel quite warm. So I think it'll be easier to go out tonight for fans who want to kind of get out and get out of their house for a change. So yeah, I know we do have a few in-house staff invites. Tommy Gazzola's put a few together, in which we have a few tables and a few tabs set aside. So the only issue is that we do have to be here. We have a responsibility, much like the Super Bowl, to be back tomorrow. And Monday after the Super Bowl, I do not want a repeat of that for myself.
Don't do that again.
So going out sometimes, I don't have the, shall we say, discipline to go out and say, well, what is it? 8:45. Time to go home.
Time for me. Yeah.
And if the game ends as you and I and Trev and everybody else is hoping, and it's an emotional wreck, who's going to go home and get in the wrapper to wake up for 4:00? So I just, it might be at home, it might be out a bit, but probably within a walking distance of a few blocks from my house.
Trev, what are you doing tonight for the game?
That's a good question, Dusty. I'm waiting for my buddy to respond because we had made plans last week, and I haven't heard from him. The last I heard, he was coming over. We're going to have a few pre-drinks and then go to a pub, a bar. We haven't really quite picked that out yet, but if he doesn't get back to me, then I might join Tommy wherever they're going, and that's kind of what I got on tap today. But I'll have a few cold ones. And I'm doubting that I'm going to be spending this by myself. Here's hoping I can spend it with someone, because this is going to be awesome. It makes it so much more fun.
Tonight,
it makes it so much more fun. So here's hoping that my buddy gets back to me.
Let's see here. CJ in Chicago says, I'll be watching at a bar with a bunch of Americans. I'll be outnumbered 15-1. Pray for me. Best of luck to you, CJ. George Conlon says, I have to wake up at 3:30, so I'll be watching the game at home. Kevin from the Bergman Hood says, I'm not watching the game as my wife organized a date night. WTF. Oh, man.
Oof.
That sucks. La Bamba guy says, stuck in a Fort McMurray camp with bad internet and shoddy fuzzy cable. I'm going to try to watch on the iPad tonight. All right, so
you'll remember it though. I mean, it's those instances, much like at the Fun Spiel, where it's like a unique. You're trying to adjust the bunny ears. Like that's kind of what makes the whole moment as well, right?
Yeah, you have to earn it, right? Or they somehow push through and
makes it special.
And get this game. Dex says, I'm going to get into one tonight, boys. I might go full Trev and no show for work tomorrow.
That's pretty good.
Wouldn't actually suggest that, but it's a pretty funny one. All right, so how fired up are you for this game tonight? And what are you going to be doing? Where are you going to be watching it?
10 hours. 10 hours.
They're 10 hours away. Oh, boy. We're 40 likes away from changing 400. We got a sports update coming up right now. We could definitely smash through that. It's a 500 like day. It is Canada. It is the United States for, let's be honest, hockey bragging rights. I'll be interested to see the reaction tomorrow on the show for you guys if Canada loses.
Will Fraser in for Dustin Nielson tomorrow.
Yeah. Is it Fraser tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, I hope he watches the game tonight.
As do I.
All right, let's get to a sports update. If you want to play kind of easy trivia, I'm going to come up with the trivia questions right now on the spot, so I'm promising you they're going to be easy. If you want to play kind of easy trivia today, get your hands on that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Text Trev right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 if you would like to play kind of easy trivia this morning. And if you have any questions for 3 questions too many, you can submit those right now as well to 780-218-9999, and we will answer those. We've got Jamie Thomas, who's here in Boston as well. He's going to be by around 8:30. He's going to be from the rink, I believe. Marmot Basin Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff, all still to come as well. And, if you're over on YouTube, smash that thumbs up for us. That would be great. We'd like to hit 500 on the show today. Let's get to that sports update for Windsor Plywood Leduc, and I'll load up another fun song to get to on the other side here as we move into hour number 3.
The battle for global hockey supremacy ends tonight. Canada, USA, 4 nations face-off final down in Boston, Mass. Action getting underway at 6. USA besting Canada earlier in the tournament by a score of 3-1. The Oilers, meanwhile, they'll head out on an Eastern road trip, a 5-gamer, which will begin Saturday afternoon in Philly. 9 games around the NBA tonight. LeBron James last night, 26 points in a losing cause as the Hornets would bounce the Lakers 197 in the lone game as the NBA returned from its All-Star break. Down to Thunder Bay we go for the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Alberta's Selena Sturmey bounced from playoff contention last night as she would fall 9-8 to Saskatchewan. Kayla Skurlik's rink, meanwhile, defeating PEI 7-5. The Skurling rink now 5-2. They will enter play this afternoon against a winless Nunavut rink. Also at noon today, Selena Sturmey up against undefeated Rachel Homan and Team Canada. Sports update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
A certain man with chops upon his face.
He is big and strong and finally found his place.
Most players look at him with terror and with fear.
But to Oiler fans, their eyes he brings a tear. He can skate about 100 miles per hour, full of anger and fire. But he's also got the hands and power that a fan base desires. Cassian shot the puck and it went in. He scored a goal, so we'll play the song. Cassian, he's missing teeth when he grins. He'll beat you up if you do him wrong.
He was a a drafted man in the first round long ago.
He went to Vancouver from Buffalo.
He landed with the Habs, but never played a game.
His career got on track, went to Edmonton he came. The Oilers got him in a trade for Scrivens. Now he's a leader of the pack. When it comes to casseroles are given, show your rack for Zach. Cassian shot the puck and it went in. He scored a goal, so we'll play the song. Cassian, he's missing teeth when he grins. He'll beat you up if you do him wrong. Cassian shot the puck.
Played the Turtle song a little bit earlier on. Decided to go with the Cassian song as well. That gets her fired up on a game day. Canada and the United States. If you're watching over on YouTube, we are 30 likes away from changing 400. So hammer that for us as well. The Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. And right now, if you call 780-998-7883, that's 780-998-7883, and use the code EST, you will get a $160 79-point vehicle inspection for free. Simple as that. 780-998-7883. People love free stuff. Why not get your vehicle checked out? 79-point inspection for free. Book with the code EST. Save yourself $160. All right, you can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Jamie Thomas is going to join us around 8:30. I believe he's over at the rink right now, and he did.
Anybody else?
Texted me this morning.
Have you bumped into him or anybody else down there?
No. I mean, we're like at this. We were downtown last night for a little bit, but we're at like this Encore Win. It's like a Vegas-style hotel/resort just off the Boston Harbor. I don't know if they're going to build more of them. Like
the Harbor.
It's literally like it stands out very big here in the Harbor. If you got your khakis and your Carhartts out here, right? Somebody did text in earlier, wanted me to start saying Carhartts, which I do like. I do like saying a little bit. So anyway, JT texts me. He's going to join us at 8:30. He says. So he's at the rink. He says, here, McKinnon is apologizing to Oilers Nation for his sins of Canada-Sweden. I cannot believe I looked off Connor McDavid on that 2-on-1, honestly, but I could barely see. I was so tired on that rush. So I was happy when Marner scored, so I didn't have much left to give. I don't know if that's that's a text from JT today. I don't know if it came up again today as they get set for this game. But anyway, Jamie Thomas will have some splaining to do, and he'll be by around 8:30 today. Big Maple says, Dusty, did you place a bet on Kentucky and Missouri last night at the sports book? Big Maple, we did not. We did not see your text until we had left the hotel and we were out from the sports book. And then we were like, damn, we didn't do that. Did it hit? There's a lot of college basketball on TV down here. A lot. I watched Auburn last night. A little bit of UNC last night. NC State sucks. I learned that yesterday. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. We do need 2 more questions for 3 questions too many. Sports questions, non-sports questions, Team Canada questions, Oilers questions, whatever you got. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. You can text them in. You can also ask those questions over on the Nasty Chat as well on YouTube, where we're now 25 likes away from changing 400. Trev, who's playing kind of easy trivia today, buddy?
This is Ernie.
Ernie's going to play kind of easy trivia today. Needs to get 3 of the 5 questions correct to win the gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. Where are you ready to stake your claim? Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with the Emperor's Caesar salad or the rustic onion soup. Then enjoy the tender 7-ounce sirloin with that béarnaise butter and garlic mashed potatoes loaded with savory toppings. Mr. Mike's, eat locally, enjoy casually. Let's go to Ernie today. Ernie, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
All right, let's play, Ernie. Trev will start the ticker after read the first question. Good luck, man. Here we go. True or false? Connor McDavid is the captain of Team Canada.
False.
Who is the captain of Team Canada?
Sidney Crosby.
What position does Jordan Binnington play?
Goal.
Which curling event is happening right now?
The Scotties.
What baseball team calls Boston home?
The Red Sox.
Boom. 5 for 5 for Ernie. Gets it done.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a peddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a peddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a peddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
All right, it is 8:10 on a game day. We'll have the hangout coming up here on TuneIn, on iHeart, at EdmontonSportsHub.com, and, of course, on YouTube, where we're 18 away from changing 400 this morning. We've got the hangout coming up from 9 to 11. I will be back with Huss and Jake, all three of us, live from Boston for the lock shot from 11 until 12 today. Two guys and a goalie from 12 until 1. EST afternoons from 1 until 3. And then the Reed Wilkins show from 3 until 6. And I think I'm going to be joining the boys just after 5 o'clock from the rink tonight to set up that game. So that should be exciting as well. Very much fired up for this hockey game tonight. Let's get into 3 questions too many. Brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment today?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and its dealer principal, Mitch Lewicki, who wants to let everybody know it is now 9 hours and 49 minutes till game time. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. He's got the clock there counting down.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Big clock. A little maple leaf on it.
And if they don't sell 6 cars today, nobody's leaving. Like, get out there and sell. All right. Do you have a Twitter account?
Yes, I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. And you can also follow the station at YEG Sports Talk on Twitter. Give the station a follow as well. And you'll be all up to date on everything going on. I mean, with the Oilers come back thick and fast Saturday and Sunday, both 11 o'clock puck drops. So Tommy's going to be a busy boy this weekend. Of course, we're going to recap the game tomorrow, but it don't stop. There'll be no time for a week off for a parade or anything such as that. Or they're all back from Cabo. Baby. They all had the Oilers. They had that thing where they put the mic in front. What did you do during the break or whatever? And Cabo was like 90% of the answers, aside from Stuart Skinner taking care of his newborns. But
so they need to get more creative with places, I guess.
I just love how they're all down there. Like you're bumping into people. Don't you want to kind of get away? You're all down there, kind of residing in the same. Like I know it's not a small place, but. That's
nice, though. I've never been to Cabo. I've never had a chance to say that.
Neither have I. They say Cabo Wabo. That's what the...
Cabo Wabo. That's neat. Wow. Oh, is it because you're wobbling? Because you're in Cabo and you had too many, maybe? The Cabo Wobble. I like wobble, even maybe a little bit better. All right. So if you were watching over on YouTube, you can chime in the nasty chat. Of course, you can text us. We do need one more question for 3 questions too many today. Sports question, non-sports question, whatever it is, fire it over to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Let's get to question number 1. Guys, what will you get more reaction of? This came into the inbox a little bit earlier on. Canada losing to the U.S. tonight or the Oilers in a regular season loss to Columbus the morning after a show? Rick, what do you think?
What was the question? What are you more depressed about?
No. What will you guys get more reaction to? Canada losing to the U.S. or the Oilers losing a regular season game to the Blue Jackets?
This is a trick question because if I answer one, that means I don't care about the other one.
Oh.
So I'm going to say...
No, here's a trick question. Oilers don't lose to the Blue Jackets, so we don't have to talk about it. Mind you, they do lose to some
unless
teams
it's in Columbus, right? Like,
yeah.
The House of Horrors that is Columbus.
I think if Canada was to lose to the United States tonight, the reaction tomorrow will be much more fired up than the Oilers losing a regular season game.
How do they lose, though? The nature of losing, too. We've all said, too, that if you win this, you're like, ha-ha, and bragging rights and going like, if you lose, you just say,
I don't think it matters.
Meaningless tournament anyways, right? Those are the options you kind of have, right, to kind of take with you.
Whether you lose a close one or you get blown out, losing to the United States is not acceptable for this hockey fan in this country.
Not acceptable.
Like I don't care how you lose. Like there's no way we see. I don't I don't imagine a world, and I'll be trying to watch as much as I can. What time? I think I might be able to catch the end of the show in Chicago tomorrow morning as I try to fly home as quickly as I can. So I'm going to be interested to see if they do lose. And I think they're going to win tonight. I'm worried that maybe Bennington lets in a soft one or something and it backfires, but I think Canada's going to win tonight. But if they were to lose for some reason, I don't see anybody popping into the chat and being like, they tried hard. It was a close game. Like, you're going to be extremely disappointed. There's no justifying losses to the United States in the final of a international event. There's no way. So it'll be more fired up than after Oilers' regular season loss, I think.
Big Uke says, if Canada loses tomorrow's show, we'll be blaming Bouchard and Stu, no doubt.
Well, clearly. Because if Stuart Skinner would have played better earlier in the season, he would have been on this team, and then he could have won the big game finally. There's something along those lines. All right, question number 2. Guys, is Matt Savoy here to stay?
For the time being.
Oh.
At least for the 5-game road trip. He's playing with Draisaitl, top 6, baby. Let's go. Right?
Well, McDavid's not with the group right now, right? So
yeah, I know, but I mean, What do we? I just get a good great look, and I'm not saying like nuclear option with McDavid and Draisaitl or anything such as that, but get him some top 6. Let's go. Let's see what he's got. He's been proving his point in the AHL. I don't know how much more of a point you can prove. I don't want willy-nilly 5 minutes here or there or whatever. Like, let's get him going. I want to see it. I want to see the full package, the full deal.
I will say not here to stay, but not based on his play.
That's
would be my take today on Matty Savoy. I think they want to get a look at him, and then whatever happens, he ends up back down, even if it's just for a little bit. They maybe bring in a forward at the deadline. You see if that works. If it doesn't work, then maybe there's another look coming for Matt Savoy. So I don't think he's here forever. Like, this is not his goodbye American League moment. I'll never be back. But I think that's probably just part of the plan. It's not like, oh man, this kid sucks, let's send him back down. And I think you're probably going to like some of what you see, but you probably will see him in the American League again at some point this season. Ziploc Smart over in the nasty chat says, does Connor take a PJ home tonight for a single sleep in his bed and a quick visit with Lenny, or does he raw dog this stint and go straight to Philly? That's a long stretch in hotels for a guy. I mean, if they win tonight, I'm assuming there'd be a little celebration. So he's not taking a PJ home tonight. I don't think.
It's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock in Philly. Game time, local mountain time, but 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, probably just meet the team there, I would think. Pat has a question for 3 questions too many, which is kind of funny. It's definitely not going to be the third question, but Pat asks, for 3 questions too many, could you quickly explain the NBA salary cap? How about no? Because I don't know if anybody understands the NBA salary cap. So no, I'm not going to explain that. And let's get to another question here. Okay, here's a good one. Boys, it's National Comfy Day. When are you most comfy? I don't know, like
Comfy Day.
Eric, when are you? Yeah, it's National Comfy Day. Apparently, I did not know this.
Well, when you're in the studio next to me,
oh my goodness, it is nice when
it's tough to do these shows when we're separated, man. I mean, we make it work, but I'm just saying it's that's the ultimate comfort. My wife sleeps with one of those heavy blankets, like those lead weight.
Oh yeah, you're trapped. You have to help her out in the morning.
It's insane. Type of thing. And then you make the bed with it. You can't even. You have to try to it's a workout to make the bed. So those are what comfy. I don't know, comfy. I know Trev would agree with me here. A nice soaking of the feet that gets me comfortable in quite a zen state.
Yeah, I like baths. I don't know if I'm the most comfortable there. I think I'm most comfortable when I'm in my house sweats, a hoodie, probably under a little blanket. And there's one part of our couch downstairs that I've just worn in over the last like 8 years.
The groove.
To the point where like it's too comfy. Like I can't get anything done if I sit there like work-wise. It's just too comfortable. So if I don't have to do any work stuff, I do like to cuddle up in that one little spot there. It just like you sink in and that's probably when I'm most comfy.
Yeah.
I think. A little bit of a strange question, but
never really pondered that one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have a spot at home, right? Like we all have, whether it's a chair, a groove on the couch, like there's always a spot. Everybody has you don't just go home every day and randomly sit in different places. I mean, sometimes you like to give the other furniture, its due and a bit of attention every once in a while, but everybody's got a spot, a pillow, shall we say, or
yeah, there's like something like that, right? Like,
yeah, and the sweats too. House sweats can't be beat. I got house shorts. I wear house shorts, basketball shorts.
I think I have my napping bed in the basement of the house, where it's good for like a 2-hour nap, but it's not great if you're going to sleep in it every night for like 8 hours. Pretty comfy there when I slide in the afternoon to the old wrapper, as they say. Yeah, that's not a bad one either.
How's the bed? How's the sleeping there? Bed's nice. What do you got? A king? Double king?
It's a nice. It's a nice bed.
Spread out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice bed, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. And the pillows are terrific. Like it's just.
Yeah. This
is worth it to be here for 2 days in this room. Like I wish I didn't have to do any shows. Or I'd get up. I'd have like a big bath. I mean, it'd be great. There's just not enough time in this room. I'll tell you that.
What's the have you succumbed to temptation on the snack bar since yesterday, or is there any sort of like omelet bar, like a chef making omelets? Like what's the kind of the?
Yeah, I don't know if there's like I don't think there's like a crappy little continental breakfast where I can go have a hard piece of toast. It's just. I mean, I just basically have Shake Shack. I mean, that's what I eat here. I had it twice yesterday, for goodness sakes. And it was delicious both times. It really was. We are 5 away from changing 400 here. So if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Look at Jamie Thomas is so eager. He's an eager beaver. Should we just get to JT now and then just go? Yeah, I mean, he's ready. He's locked and loaded. We can go to Jamie Thomas now, and then
he's taking the time.
We'll get to the update a little bit later. And yeah, if you're watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. You can text us anytime at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And Sean's in and says, I have a house shirt, shorts, and Crocs like I'm Mr. Rogers when I come into my house to change clothes. When you're talking about being, when you're the most comfortable. You know who looks comfortable right now? Jamie Thomas. Trev, let me know when he's ready. He's looking sharp. He's a reporter. This guy is a sports reporter. We're gonna get to JT. Trev, there he is. Jamie Thomas. How are you, buddy?
So good. So glad you made it. I heard it was a little bit of a challenge making your way to Boston.
Yeah, it was a couple of days delayed. But then I got in, and then when I got here, I didn't check in until like 2 a.m. And all they had was like this massive suite on the top floor of the Encore Win. And it's incredible, buddy. I lucked out. Yeah, you should come over and hang out in one of my various couches I've got in this room. Like it's insane. I
want the left one. I want that white one right behind you.
You can have it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's such a fancy hotel that's not even a pull-out couch. I was like, this must be a pull-out couch. It's not even a pull-out couch. It's just a regular.
It's for decor. It's a decor couch.
Yeah. You're not even supposed to sit on it. It's like a little note. It says, please don't sit on this. It's just for looks.
Covered in plastic.
Yeah. So you're down at the rink, ready to roll? Like all fired up? What's happened so far today over there?
Nothing. So we're waiting for the Americans to step on the ice here momentarily. So, obviously the conversation, Brady Tkachuk will be joining the Americans for this game tonight. And the build-up is on. We waited a long time. Since Saturday for the rematch. It's been forever since these guys played against one another. But man, I don't know if you can build it up any more than we already have, because tonight is going to be special. If what we saw on Saturday was just the appetizer, I guess.
Well, like how do you build up the start of tonight's game?
Yeah.
After the way the last game's, like, no matter what happens, unless there's a goal in the first 60 seconds, it's going to kind of be like, oh, this isn't as crazy as the last game to get going. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's going to be like a little bit of a letdown right off the puck drop.
Right. And I think even from an atmosphere perspective, too, because I don't know how you match what happened in Montreal with GSP stepping on the ice and introducing Canada. I'm sure they'll try, and I'm not knocking. This is a great building, great hockey town. But Montreal is in a place amongst itself. And again, to your point about the beginning of this game, I don't know how you can do it because or start the game the way they started the game on Saturday because of what's on the line. You don't want to take a dumb penalty with any one of these power plays that can go out in the ice. So I highly doubt it. Josh Morrissey said you have to prepare for anything, but I just don't think you're going to be prepared for something as lunatic as we saw in the opening 9 seconds on Saturday.
Which team do you think is facing more pressure in this game tonight?
Oh, I'd have to say the Americans because they haven't won a best on best since '96 with NHL players. They win that game against Canada. They've been talking about it's their time. They've kind of been more open about how they feel or more confident, I guess, in some ways. And I think that if they don't win here today, it's going to be a big disappointment. And then on the other side, Canada has to respond and find ways to get more pucks on Connor Hellebuck because they had some decent chances on Saturday, but not much in the third period. So I just feel like the Americans have more on their backs. Yes, Canada cares more from an entire country perspective, and the players and coaching staff are aware of that. But I just think what the United States has done, how they've built up, the conversation is constantly about the national team development program and how it supplied all these great players, and now it's their time. So I think as the tournament favorites, they have more pressure on their shoulders heading into this one.
Jamie, you were down at the scene, obviously at the rink. McKinnon was speaking earlier. Can you
was this
more of a
older
dive into
text
that
or something? Or
I think it's an older clip. I was just reading. I was reading an article, and I didn't realize that Nathan McKinnon was so aware of why so many people were mad at him. So I think it was really nice of him to take the time to apologize to Oiler Nation. You think? Did you read the quote to everybody?
You should have seen the reaction the next day after Marner wins it over. To people are like, I can't believe McKinnon. Like, what a fuck off. Like, McDavid's right there. I was like, calm down. Like, we won as a country. Like, relax. Like, if they go to overtime tonight, and McDavid and McKinnon are on a 2-on-1, and McKinnon doesn't pass, or if he doesn't pass and they don't win the game, like he will be hated in Edmonton for the next 50 years. Like, it's crazy.
And he didn't even do anything to the Oilers. That's the funny part. It's just like it's the strangest thing. Fandom. It's so random and so bizarre. But I'm glad that McKinnon heard Oiler Nation and he spoke out and he apologized. And I think everything should be okay now.
Yeah, everybody.
It has to be a united front here, does it not?
Right.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
get our
I think
house
so.
in order, and then we can go out and
I'm sure he apologized to Connor McDavid afterwards. I'm really sorry I didn't pass to you. I'm sure that was the conversation after the game. That's something that we missed, and the camera should have got. That's going to be in the next documentary.
It'll have to be in that. Okay, so we were talking about it earlier today as well, like the debate on which team's facing more pressure. We were also talking about which player faces the most pressure tonight, and we kind of by default went Binnington and Hellebuck. I mean,
yes,
especially with Hellebuck's last few playoffs and the lack of success with some really good Jets teams, and then Binnington's been mid so far, I would think, through this tournament. Can you pick between those two guys?
Well, obviously whoever loses this game is gonna hear about it. Like Craig Binnington, I thought he was great against Finland until the last part, and I'm like, okay, this is great for him going into the final, and then the late push from the Finns, getting a couple goals late, probably didn't help Binnington's cause. And then, Hellebuck is extremely confident. Listening to him talk yesterday, or the day before that, I'm losing track of time here, but it just seems like he's in that perfect place right now about. They were asking about the pressure, and he said he's going to forget all about it after 10 minutes after his media availability. And I'm not denying the fact that he probably did. He's locked in, but he still unfortunately carries the failures of playoffs past, and he has to answer the bell here today. And you just think Mike Richter was the last American goaltender to win a tournament for the Americans in best on best, and we're talking almost 30 years now. So, as a guy that's in the conversation for the Hart Trophy, and now obviously the third Vezina Trophy coming up here right away, barring a massive meltdown. There's a lot of pressure on, but I'll also throw in the mix too, guys like Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews who have not delivered in playoffs. Also, there's a lot of pressure on those guys too. I think there's a lot of talk about Austin Matthews, no goals in 5 Game 7s. That has to carry over here today, and also with Mitch Marner about his, and the hockey market that is Toronto. I think there'll be a lot of conversation if either one of those two players don't deliver here today as well.
JT also, and I'm combining the rosters tonight. We go on length to say this is best on best. This isn't watching, fourth line plugs like we do during the regular season. But, there are some names on both. Yeah, with all due respect, I apologize to everybody. Any other fan base I've offended here this morning, United Front. But in terms of guys like Sam Reinhart or Kyle Connor, or I know you're familiar with him, obviously, Winnipeg, who do you see? Maybe one player tonight, you've been around, you're getting the vibes of the rooms. Who would you see kind of stepping up tonight, maybe kind of making a name for themselves at this stage of the tournament, who maybe have been quiet thus far?
Right, yeah, that's a great question. So with respect to Kyle Connor, I just think he's had a tough time finding a place, right? He starts the first game against Finland with Jack Eichel and Matthew Tkachuk, and then finds his way on the third line when Mike Sullivan decides to put Brady Tkachuk with his brother on the top line, and we saw what happened against Finland. Kyle played under 9 minutes against Canada on Saturday and only had just over 14 when they only had 10 forwards. So I'm not sure where he fits in. So I would probably say Chris Kreider, who scored a goal against Sweden the other night. If he plays again here today, there'll be a guy that can step up in that aspect. And then maybe this is a game where Brad Marchand has to deliver. I know he scored in the opening game, but this is his backyard. He's been extremely effective, but it's a guy that's usually used to a top 6 role, and now he's playing in the bottom 6. So I expect to see where he fits in. But I'm also a big fan of the Mark Stone, Braden Point, Connor McDavid line. I think it was integral that they find somebody that can play with Connor McDavid. And I think Stone and Point are perfect for it. So kudos to John Cooper for finding that combination. But I think I just answer a couple of guys that could answer. But if Kyle Connor ends up playing tonight, it would be great, obviously, for him to find a way to get on the score sheet after he has 1 assist in the tournament so far. And I think it's not so much what he hasn't done. It's just he hasn't been able to find a role here yet so far with the Americans.
Jamie Thomas with us on the show, obviously here in Boston as well, covering this event. How do you, if you're Canada tonight, do you try not to engage with the Tkachuks? Do you just try to avoid them and not let them get fired up? Is that even possible, do you think?
Yeah, that one's going to be tough, especially with the way Brandon Hagel was talking yesterday as well, about the no group texts and stuff like that it's about your country, not the cameras. I just don't think there's going to be a way to avoid them. I do have a lot of respect for Sidney Crosby, who took a pretty vicious cross-check from Charlie McAvoy behind the net on Saturday. Matthew Tkachuk gave him a shot after the first period, and it doesn't even bother him. So there's just, you even think about how many Stanley Cups there are on the Canadian roster, gold medals, you know what I mean? There's a group of players that have been here so many times, like Marchand, Crosby, and Drew Doughty, that I think they can draw a lot of calmness from, I guess, if that's the best way to do it. And I think they will engage in a certain point, but not to a place where they're going to get themselves in penalty trouble and it's going to become a distraction. And I also think, I don't think the Tkachuk brothers are going to be running around as much as they were on Saturday, because it's just such a fine line of winning here, and they don't want to be the reason why they lose this game.
JT, before we let you go, I was out with Huss last night, and
eating lobster.
I had a lobster roll for the first time. I did not like it. Have you had lobster rolls since you've been here?
I have not. And listen, I like seafood as much as anybody, but that's just a weird combination. I'm not that's just
a big bun, and then
just wrap jam some lobster in it. This will be good, and throw some butter on it. That's like 20-year-old me. And then
you have a refined palate now as an older man.
And when I become a senior citizen, I'll start eating at Red Lobster and have those jam bread with lobster inside of it. I'm waiting for that part of my life. Getting close, almost at 55 here, getting my senior discount. So we'll see how that goes a little bit later in life.
You are so old. I'm surprised we had you on the show. I didn't know that. Man.
But if this affects my status, I don't know what to do. I can't.
Let us know when you turn 55, so we can be we're bringing on questionable senior citizen Jamie Thomas.
My wife is waiting for me to get 55, so I can give her the 20% discount at Shoppers Drug Mart on Tuesdays. So that's what I have to look forward to. Nothing else. That's all I have. this is where I peaked at this tournament, then it's all over from here.
Excellent, buddy. Thanks for the time, man. Safe travels home. There you go. That's Jamie Thomas.
Okay, appreciate it. See you, boys.
He's here covering Kyle Connor and Hellebuck, obviously, for Jets TV. And great having Jamie Thomas on the show today. So because Jamie Thomas is almost 55, WTF, looking great. He does look great. I would have never pegged him at 55.
I was going to say you have to turn 40 before you turn 55. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
there, right?
I see what you're doing there. That's a good one. All right. If you're watching over on YouTube today, we are 78 away from possibly changing 500 on the show this morning. And there's over 400 of you watching right now. So hammer the thumbs up for the boys. We're going to get into a sports update here for Sit and Sleep. We have like one of the most Boston accent sentences of all time that I'm going to try to pull off. I think that was texted in. We'll do that coming up. Marmot Basin snow report still to come as well. The wrap for William Huff. And your predictions for tonight's hockey game. Give us your prediction tonight. So tomorrow you can text in and be like, I called it. I knew what was happening. We'll give you our predictions coming up for the game as well. Give us the score. Give us the game-winning goal. Let us know what you think Connor McDavid's going to do. Hammer that to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Let's get to that sports update and your predictions for Canada and the United States on the other side of this.
Changing 100. Changing 100.
Four Nations face-off final tonight from Boston, Canada v. USA. Action getting underway at 6. Canada will look to avenge their earlier tournament loss to the States by a score of 3-1. Jordan Binnington will get the start. He brings in a .892 save percentage into tonight. Oilers, meanwhile, they're back on the ice Saturday as they kick off a 5-game Eastern trip in Philly. Puck drop 11 o'clock. 9 games around the association tonight. The Lakers are in Portland while the Celtics visit Philly. Last night, the Lakers falling on home court 197 to the Hornets. Scotty's Tournament of Hearts. The morning draw is live from Thunder Bay. Last night, Alberta's Selena Sturmey bounced from playoff contention in a 9-8 loss to Saskatchewan. Kayla Skurlik's rink, meanwhile, defeating PEI 7-5. The Skurlik rink 5-2 heading into play later this afternoon. They will face winless Nunavut in the afternoon draw, while Selena Sturmey, they'll look to finish on a high, taking on undefeated Rachel Homan and Team Canada. Sit and Sleep is currently offering a winter clearance event, from massive discounts on major sleep brands to unbeatable deals on Canadian-made custom furniture. Our winter clearance event is your chance to transform your home at a fraction of the cost. Plus, you can enjoy perks like free local white glove delivery and special financing offers that make it even easier to bring home the best. Visit us today, South Common, next to Planet Fitness.
Connor McDavid. Let me say yeah.
Remember that name. McDavid off a turnover. Walks in. Has a step shot. Looks it. No, it slips behind Holtby. And that's McDavid's 30th. Finds McDavid. The net is empty. Shoots and scores, and this one's over. Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid. McDavid. Remember that name.
Here is Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid.
Smart move.
Here is beautiful.
Remember that name.
No. Connor has no limit. No. Connor has no limit.
Connor McDavid.
Remember that name.
No limits when it comes to this guy. He's simply too fast. Think he can just fly. No limits, so why do you try? He'll score on his own, or he'll give it to try.
Connor McDavid.
Fans in heaven, cause the 9 to 7. Been itching in love from Gibbons to Devon. Look at the past, eating men on the ass. Second contract, a lot of cash. Tick, take your time. With David on your team and you'll be fine. Just open your eyes and you will see it. Oil it for real, cause he has no limit.
No. Connor has no
Connor McDavid song. If that doesn't get you fired up for Canada versus the United States tonight, then I don't check your pulse. Right? That's what they say. If your pulse isn't going, you're dead probably. So that's not good. The Nielson Show brought to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot, and get that 79-point vehicle inspection for free right now. You probably got to look after this vehicle more often than you do. Why not get it? It's regular $160. They're going to let the first 10 people who book with the code EST get it for free at South Ford Chev. 780-998-7883. Maybe there's something under the hood that you're not so sure about. Go get it checked out for free. 780-998-7883. Use the code EST. First 10 people will get that vehicle inspection for free at South Fort Chevrolet. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are 58 likes away from changing 500 here on a big game day between Canada and the United States. Giant Mike texts in with the this is a sentence that really lets me take my Boston accent for a bit of a walk here. So I'm gonna go with it here, and I could be sound of the day. Who knows? Let's see.
Could be an Esty.
Yeah, it could be. Here we go. Let's see.
Bostonian accent.
Wow, man, wouldn't that be something, winning an Esty for that? Was it wicked hard to find your car keys and your car khakis to park your car in the Harvard yard? Woo! How about that?
Can we have it again in a slower I think I got all
slow
the
it
words.
down? Okay.
Did you have Harvard in there, but did you have Harbor?
I no, the Harvard. Yeah, I guess I could do that. There's no harbor in there, but I'll do it a little bit slower for you again. All right, here we go. Was it wicked hard to find your car keys in your Carhartt khakis to park your car in the Harvard yard? I feel good about it. Like,
Hey,
I think
it's
if I was
award worthy, I would say there should be some sort of hardware for that.
If I was auditioning for a Bostonian role in a movie or short film, I think that would be the sentence I would use. And then they would say, can you say anything else? And I'd say, no, I only say, and my line will have to be, was it wicked hard to find your car keys in your Carhartt khakis to park your car in the Harvard Harbor yard? The guy at the pub we went to last night to try the lobster roll, full-blown Boston accent. Like when we walked in there, the guy who sat us down, I was just like, yes.
Boston public.
Yes, finally. Like, give it to us.
See, did you gulp the words out of him though? Did you try to get him to say all of those? No,
I did. Did you know? Do you know how difficult it would be to find another place in this area? Would it be very easy, or would it possibly be? And he didn't give it to me.
Garcon, if I have another question.
Yeah. This table, it sure isn't soft. How would you describe this table? Would you say it's wicked hard?
Classify this style of pant?
those are Carhartt khakis. Like, T-Mac, the rugby guy, says, is that Dusty or Mark Wahlberg?
Well, if you're listening,
guys,
not watching, you'd be easily confused.
Rams fan texts in and says, wow, I had my eyes closed when Dusty read that, and I thought I'd been transported to Boston. Yeah, you might have. Was it wicked hard to find your khakis?
You sound like a
in your Carhartt khakis to park your car in the Harvard yard?
Say apartment.
Yeah. Let me see if I'll work it into the sentence here. Okay. Was it wicked hard to find your car keys in your Carhartt khakis to park your car in your apartment in the Harvard yard? God, keep them coming. I'm on fire right now. Misa like doing this. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Tube Sock says, sounds like a young JFK. Look, I'm
well, you got
Lucas says, I'm wicked hard now.
Yeah, well.
Jason says, is this Casey Affleck? I mean, thanks everybody. Mission accomplished. I found a very Boston-ish sentence that rolls off the tongue rather nicely. Outside my apartment in the Harvard, my Harbour apartment. That's what I'll do. Okay. Was it wicked hard to find your car keys in your Carhartt khakis to park your car in your Harbour apartment next to the Harvard yard? There we go. I don't think there's any other words that I can actually fit in there.
You sound like some sort of disgraced police chief. Like that.
Oh, yeah, I like that too.
It's that movie, you know, and you got the smoke hanging out of your mouth, the trench coat. I look forward to rifling all these off tonight in the suite after a couple of Captain and Cokes.
Yeah. I can't. Like, the game's going to end at 11. There's going to be some sort of emotional rush. I'm going to have to be like, sorry, boys, I got to go. I got to be at the airport like before 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's tough.
You check out tonight. Bring your stuff with you, and then just go to the airport whenever.
You know what? I wish Tammy just would not have had Elizabeth until the 22nd. You know, like,
couldn't have waited one more day.
This is on you, Tam. This is on you. I have to come home because you couldn't have had the baby one day later.
One day later.
I think I said later, just like. Uh-oh, it's starting. It's starting. That's trouble. That's
too much
trouble.
time in Boston. That's
one day later.
48 hours. Yeah.
Okay. And look, if you're not smashing the thumbs up for this show, what are we even doing here? 53 away. So if you're watching on YouTube, let's do that. Brett says, man, I really wish we had a live stream of Dusty about 3 beers deep showing his impression to some of the locals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jared says, I'm picturing Dusty in the town as an extra. He says his line and the other character says what? And then Dusty repeats his line again. It's like Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick when they're like, what's that look? And he goes, it's the only one I got. This is my only line that I have. Was it wicked hard to find your khakis and your Carhartt khakis to park your car next to your apartment in the Harvard yard?
You should have got a full one-piece tracksuit too, an Adidas 3-stripe. Chains, you know, the full deal.
Yeah. I should have. You're right.
You should have went hard. Yeah.
Dusty, Collingwood Robson says, Dusty, thanks for your cousin from Boston shtick. Wicked awesome. Tell your mother to say hi.
Mother.
Get Dusty to say Bobby. I don't like the Babby. You have my cousin Bobby coming over. He's parking his car by the harbor. He'll be right here.
Yeah.
I was trying to find parking near Fenway, but it was a wicked mess, so I just took the T. That must be a line, too. I took the T. Oh, God. Yeah. All right.
Sparks wants BST for Boston Sports Talk.
Boston Sports Talk, yeah.
Send you out 48 hours every year, and we just do a full show. Covering the Pats and the Red Sox and the.
Yeah, you know what? The Coolbet needs to take me to Ireland. That's what needs to happen,
baby.
Hey, can you imagine that? I think that would be Bobby, my Bobby. Where's my buddy Bobby at? I could live in this suite for like a month. They could pull me up here for
enough, you got
Boston week. Yeah. Whatever happened to that Dustin Nielson guy in Edmonton Sports Talk? Well, he went down to Boston once, found one sentence where he made him sound local and launched Boston Sports Talk. They didn't come back.
Changed his name to Dustin O'Nielsen.
Dustin O'Nielsen. All right. Predictions for the game tonight. Predictions for the game tonight officially. Trev, we're going to get yours. Rick will get yours. I'll give you mine. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, 44 away from change of 500, but give us your predictions for the game tonight. You can't come in tomorrow morning and be like, I knew it was going to be 4-2. I just didn't text it in. Like, you need to get off the fence.
Will's already got that
and give us the
down.
prediction. Yeah. I cannot wait to hear him in the hell out of this game tomorrow. Like, it's gonna be terrific. All right, Rick, what's your official prediction for the game here?
Go with the classic hockey score 3-2. Canada wins in overtime. That's what everybody wants, right? That would be the perfect scenario, correct?
3-2.
Good old
Canada
hockey game, overtime.
win.
Canada wins there. I've hit all the boxes.
All right, let's bring in Trev. Trev, what's the official prediction for tonight?
3-2. That's a good one, LT. I like 3-2 a lot. I'm going to go with 4-2. I think Canada gets the empty netter in regulation. I don't know if I can handle OT. Oh man, Canada has to win. I honestly, if Canada loses, I'm not talking at all tomorrow. I'm going to be so sad, so depressed.
That's gonna be tough to do a show and not talk.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking at all. I'm not saying a single word. They're going to add like I might say one word. That's it. But Canada has to win, because if they win, I'll be able to talk a lot more. I'll wear my jersey, and yeah, no, I think they're going to start a little slow. I think it's going to be all US, but then Canada's going to rally back 4-2, baby. Empty netter. I don't know who gets it, but let's go. That's my prediction.
Let's go.
It's tough because I'm very worried about Binnington, but he's won a game 7 on the road in this building. Like that's as close as you can get to having a similar experience as the one you're going to face tonight. So I'm going to say 3-1 Canada. Empty netter to seal it away in what was a 2-1 game. And the empty netter will be scored by Sidney Crosby.
Oh.
Sidney Crosby, empty netter to seal away a 3-1 victory for Canada tonight, I think. So that's where I'll go. Send in your predictions. 780-218-9999, 780-218. Hermitage J says, guys, 3-1 Canada. McKinnon scoring the empty netter from McDavid. The coach says 5-3, McDavid with 3 points. Cole Harbor Joe, 6-2 Canada. McDavid 3 points. Sorelli the game winner. Lots of good text messages continuing to roll in here with your predictions. So yeah, we'll see how that sorts it out. Let's get to give me that snow report music, buddy. Let's get in the Marmot Basin snow report. Here we go. Marmot Basin snow report. Mild temperatures on the mountain today. A high of -5 forecasted. No new snow overnight, but the flurries still in the forecast for the weekend. Beautiful morning up there with some clouds. Blue sky peeking through. Should be another absolutely gorgeous bluebird day. 76 centimeters of settled snowpack and 180 centimeters total so far for the season. 20 runs were groomed last night. Snow conditions are good throughout the mountain. Lots of great runs to be had today. Should be another great day up at the mountain. For more information on Marmot, check out skimarmot.com. But plan to hit the corduroy today. The Marmot Basin snow report for Marmot Basin. All right, let's get into the wrap. Do we know who's on the hangout today? Who's hanging out today? Who do we got?
Hangout, Maddie, Tommy, Brandon? Just the three?
Brandon.
It's a threesome.
And a big game day there. Big game day.
Good for him. Calling up on a game. You know what? This is
on a big day like this. During a practicum, if you can believe it. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive for old Brandon there. All right. Let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your place to look as good as ours, William Huff gets it done. Makes that Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio look magnifique. WilliamHuff.com since 1952. Let Bruce and the team look after whatever you need looking after, and they'll take care of you. All right, what did we learn on the show today, boys?
Well, we learned everybody's hype meter. I mean, we learned what the scenarios will be, who's under the most pressure. I mean, we've been counting down the days until this final since the tournament started. These are the two teams that everybody kind of knew would be in the final. So you could kind of hit fast forward on the tournament and get to this point. Although we did have the Saturday, which was highly entertaining in the fights and everything like that. But a precursor to tonight. This is it. This is the boiled version of the tournament, what it should be. And again, we learned everybody's, predictions and prognostications for tonight. Dusty, you had for the Cool Bet Canada Hotline today. It was McDavid.
Connor McDavid over 1.5 points.
Yeah.
Over 1.5 points plus 230. You could sprinkle the 3 if you wanted. It's like a ridiculous number. It was over 7-1.
Yeah.
But I go Connor McDavid over 1.5 points tonight at plus 230. Braden Point anytime goal, something I'm sniffing around a little bit as well, and we'll get into it a little bit more on the Lock Shop today, live from either this room or Hustler's room here in Boston with myself, Jake, and Huss. We'll be all donned up in our Canadian gear and ready to go on the Lock Shop today at 11. So make sure you join us for that one. And the Huss Man has been absolutely red hot as of late. I learned that Bruce Boudreau loves Hockey Canada, but I think he loves wrestling more. Like, we set up the game. It was great. He was fired up today. Awesome segment for Pro-Am Sports. But then when we asked about Kevin Owens in the Elimination Chamber, Bruce really let go. I mean, he was very excited.
He was giving you answers before the question was even out of your mouth.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go to MSG, and I want to become the front man, the promo man for Kevin Owens. And
he's just
let that man live his dream.
His wife doesn't ask him these questions, and he's just got them boiled up inside, waiting for somebody to turn the valve. And
we get to do that. Like, we get to release that once every 2 weeks. So it was that was a lot of fun today. That was pretty good. Let's get to your text of the day today. Doesn't sign text guy. Remember the text?
Beautiful.
Doesn't sign text guy. He's going to win text of the day today. As always, that is brought to you by our great partners at A&W, where right now you can sink your teeth into savings with the $6 Buddy Bundle for a limited time. Get your choice of a Buddy Burger with cheese or the Chicken Buddy Burger plus small fries and small drink for just $6. Coming down to A&W, grab a Buddy Bundle today, available in the restaurants and on the A&W mobile app for a limited time. And I think I got an email from Tina yesterday or the day before with the next special. So that'll be coming down the pipe as well. Big Maple says Bruce Boudreau is the Paul Heyman of the NHL. Well, that's what he said he wanted to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's beautiful.
I still can't wait till he pops up later tonight, though, in the stands. Like, there'll be a spotlight on him, and he'll be there, like, ramping somebody up or something. Wouldn't put it past him.
That would be terrific. Thank you for all your text messages today. But yeah, the text of the day will go to doesn't sign text guy. Here it is. This is a good one. I was talking about how excited I am to try these sweet chicken tendies tonight. I always knew tonight's matchup would come down to the tendies. That's good. Doesn't sign text guy. Congratulations. You're going to A&W, sir. You are going to A&W. All right, let's get to your sound of the day today here in the wrap for William Huff. And we know where we got to go for the sound of the day. I got to go back to that text. There we are.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the Uncle Phil song again, eh?
Oh, no, sorry, buddy. That was a good song, though. No, let's go back to the finally perfecting my Boston accent with this sentence, all right? This is your sound of the day today on the show. Was it wicked hard to find your car keys and your Carhartt khakis to park your car next to your Harvard apartment in the Harvard yard? Woo! That was like 12 hours or whatever. Like, it was.
You ran all over the place.
I was on all over the place. It was, that was a lot of fun. That was good. If you are watching a little bit later on, you can still hammer the thumbs up. It'll be a 500 like show after people will get after the fact. All right, we don't even say what we're watching tonight. I mean, everybody's going to be watching.
It's the only thing that matters.
Lakers and Trailblazers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, the bounce back game. After the loss last night to the Hornets, that's got to be what it is.
Well, again, as you said, though, they haven't been doing good against the lesser thans of the association. So, nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of
Trailblazers, but I mean, this.
Luke is still trying to find his way. You know, quickly, one note that I want to. Kit Kats in the U.S. are not as good as Kit Kats in Canada.
What?
I determined that yesterday. I decided I was going to make it an official statement.
I thought everything was better down there, though. Everything was better.
The Kit Kat chocolate bar is like some Wish.com Kit Kat down here. Like, the Canadian Kit Kat is way better than the American Kit Kat. And they shouldn't be that different. But it is. And it frustrates me a little bit.
Enjoy your lunch at Sizzler as well. Later today.
Yeah, that'll be great. I can't wait to. I might be making a third visit to Shake Shack later today.
Yeah, you will.
It's good there. Shake Shack is. Do we have Shake Shack in Edmonton?
I don't believe, but when we do, if and when we do, the lineups will be outrageous.
They'll have a sports update for sure on this show. I'll have to make that work. All right, that is going to do it for the Nielson Show today. You guys have a fun show tomorrow. I'm going to be in a mad, stressed out scramble trying to get home for the Muzz's birthday. But yeah, it'd be fun for you and Fraser to break this thing down. A monumental moment in the hockey world happening tonight. So enjoy that game tonight, everybody. We'll be back setting it up with the Lock Shop, myself, Huss, and Jake from CoolBet from 11 to 1. So I will chat with you then. The Hangout's coming up next. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, just stick around. The Hangout will be firing up in less than 5 minutes. And if you're watching on YouTube, turn on the autoplay. It'll take you right on over. Tommy, Maddie, Brundon on the Hangout leading up to Lock Shop at 11. For YouTube, Trev, and Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you very much for the time today. Smash that thumbs up before you go, and talk to you in a couple hours on Lock Shop. Take it easy.